This can tilt and everything, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can just leave it like that.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. I think we're live right now. We're running a little late, everybody, but we are here.
Here.
Yeah, we are here, and it's game time, baby. Let's go.
I've been a bad man, yeah, the devil's prayed to me, and I help him go and get his way. You kept your word, boy, yeah, the devil said to me, and I can't wait to meet you one day. Yeah, I can't wait to meet you one day. Hey, 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 hey. Emotions out of focus, I'm crawling at my lowest. Feet hit the streets like a high-speed pursuit. I'm wild when I move, burning through your head, about to tighten up the noose. Bunch of clown faces blowing clouds of the booth. Woof, woof, hooters at the door, now they trying to run up in. I am not a guppy shark, stash everything. Dope in the pussy like a B of A deposit. Baby girl robotic, she gang bang ebonics. Hang with the rules or you gotta pull your weight. Told the biggest tool, keep one in the chain. This is not a date, dance with the Mex, get your face in the cake. Yeah, the devil's prayed to me, and I help him go and get his way. You kept your word, boy, yeah, the devil said to me, and I can't wait to meet you one day. Yeah, I can't wait to meet you one day. Hey, 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 hey. Pennies for my thoughts, I still can't make a dollar. Anybody home, Mr. 38 revolver. Holla, Lord, I need change. Heard you heal the hurt, I heard you kill the pain. Homie down the street, you left them dead in the dirt. Now his mama growing grays. Clouds in the skies leave tears on the grave.
Check 1 2 1 2 1 2, baby. We are running a little late, but we are here. We are here.
We are here.
Traffic is no joke sometimes, huh?
Man.
Sometimes when you fucking map quest that shit, it really ain't telling you the right time you're going to be there. But it's all good. We are here, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being patient. Welcome to Hood Stocks. Today's podcast is brought to you by Tone Luck. Tone Luck. In case you haven't heard of him yet, I'm about to let you know. I'm about to let you in on Los Angeles' newest best kept secret. A professional photographer, a visualist with a keen eye for perfection. You have an idea, he'll paint it out for you with his lens and his camera. Imagine that. Technology. Whatever happened with the Kodak pictures? You know what I mean? You just flop that bitch around and bop, 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 and call it good. I'm an old head, right? Nothing speaks louder to your audience than a beautiful imagery and color. Let Tone Luck bring his talent and imagination into any of your projects, whether it be an event, an interview, a party, your auntie's wedding, birthday. It doesn't matter. Tone Luck's got you covered. A professional photographer at Originals Magazine. He's done lowriders, models, real estate, etc. Check him out on Instagram at Tone Luck. TONELUCK. Yes, I can spell. And his website at www.toneluck.net. All his contact information should be on both of those platforms. Email or DM him for info. Follow him if you haven't yet. And make sure you remember the name. Tone Luck. Excuse me, man. Here we go. Okay, today's a very, very special day. And I wrote it out like this. It started off like this. Change, freedom, life. Change the freedom of your life, my G, right? I mean, you want change, it starts within. The lottery, winning the lottery, a better job, a good-looking female will not fix what's faulty inside of yourself. You got to start with the core, baby, you know? Hood Stocks, don't ever forget our purpose, right? Don't ever forget our purpose of why we're here. We are here for one reason, and that's growth, prosperity, longevity, and a whole bunch of other words we can go down, right? Here to guide us down that road. Man, this is a special podcast right here. I want you guys to pull out your notebooks, man, or you might have to rewind this track a couple times to pick this game up. You know what I mean? Because she's about to drop some gems right now. I want you all to give a warm welcome to this beautiful, powerful vibration Give it up for Queen Sasha. Let's go.
Hey, ooh, I got applause.
You got the applause.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
No doubt.
How you feeling?
I feel good. I feel good because the divine time is the right time. So I'm here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
The divine time is the right time. I like that. I like that.
So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is much needed. You know, sometimes the stories and the roads that we go down, and those are therapeutic to hear other people's stories, and it can teach you what to do and what not to do, so to speak, in life. You know, but having a professional like yourself on the podcast to give us these tools to properly navigate down these rough roads that some of us have been through, some of us that are still on, is very much needed on this platform. So I want to thank you again for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I am you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we like to look at people, oh, you know, Lucky's here and he's Hispanic and Sasha's here and she's black. But at the end of the day, we all come from the same source. We all got our same different stories, but pushing us along the same path. So it's important that we honor our individual path. A lot of times on this planet, they are trying to tell us we should be like everybody else. And if you did this, this is wrong. And if you did this, this is right. And you got to be like this person. But I'm here to tell you exactly where you are right now is exactly where you need to be. And you had to be, and you had to take the road exactly as is in order to fulfill your own destiny. So don't believe the hype about you're seeking to be great because you need to follow this model, or you're seeking to be great because I need to be like this person who succeeded, because success is relative to the individual journey. And we spend a lot of time trying to be like other people as opposed to really, really highlighting the light that is us. We are individual lights, and we do not have to be like anybody else. As a matter of fact, it's beautiful. If you guys could see everybody that's here, it's all these different lights that are here, and it's our collective shine that's making it really bright in here. So I really like to tell people to honor your story, honor your path, honor how you feel. A lot of people are battling against how they feel because they're not supposed to feel that way. And when you don't honor how you feel, you can never get past that. So, you know, 2021, COVID, elections, so much stuff to distract us from feeling. And then COVID hit and we had to stay still. In some way, shape, or form, we had to stay still. We couldn't go to the clubs no more. We couldn't go to the malls no more. We couldn't hop on planes like we used to. We couldn't do girls' trips and fellas' trips. We had to stay still. So the beauty in staying still is getting to listen to what all that stuff that we have put over our internal noise. But it's scary. It's scary to sit with yourself. It's scary to hear those thoughts and those pains and those emotions that you've buried. And what happened is we've become a society that we bury pain. We seek, like you said, beautiful women, beautiful men. We seek multiple degrees, multiple homes. We seek wealth to try to cover up that internal chatter because we're not taught how to make peace with the stuff we did. We're taught to villainize ourselves. We are taught to compare ourselves. We are taught to not feel. If it's not the norm, then don't feel it. So my job is to help people unravel the feelings and be with them. I can curse on here, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. I like to tell my clients, my people, you have to sit in your shit. You have to sit in your shit for a little bit in order to process it. You know, before me talking about in the body, before something became waste, before it became feces, it was nourishment. The only way we could actually have feces and excrement is if we eat nutrition. The body takes from it what it needs, and then the rest is waste. And we don't really have to dissect the waste. We get the nourishment, it's all good, and we don't pay attention to the byproduct of the nourishment. But COVID and all that stuff forced us to take a look at the byproduct of the shit that we've been taking in. And that's how you really know what direction you want to go into. It's not about knowing how to get there. It's about knowing I got to do something different. So that moment of, oh, snap, this is not good, or I keep doing the same game and it's got me going in circles. It's got me going all over the place. COVID came as a blessing for us to sit in our shit. Like, does it smell good anymore?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We just getting started too.
God
Ooh,
damn it, man. She come off the cuff.
Look.
Off the cuff. She ain't fucking around. She just got off motherfucking a hectic ass motherfucking trip and traffic over here.
Facts.
And she got the guns blazing. And this is what I love right here. And this is gonna be very, very, these are tools, my G's and the women and the homegirls, everybody, grandmas, everybody, whoever is watching this show, these are tools right here. You're never too old to change the old ways and pick up some of these tools, these gems she's about to drop. But before you start dropping them, even though you came off dropping them,
yes.
I want you to tell a little bit about yourself.
Yes, of course.
How you got on this journey. And so what would be you're a wellness coach?
Yeah, so I'm a certified, okay, so by title, I have a problem with titles, but we'll go into that later. Anyways, by title, I'm a certified health and personal freedom coach. So before I got here, I'm a certified life coach, natural health consultant, right? But let me tell you about how I got here. Before I even got here, let me tell you about how this even came about. I was raised in Southern California like a whole bunch of us, and I was raised to two amazing immigrant parents, and they came with the same ideology to pursue the American dream, and nothing else mattered. And so they came here from another country. They built. We went to public school in San Diego. That's where we're from. My dad was in the military. My mom was a nurse's assistant. And the goal was always to just attain the paper. And we hear paper from the hood. We hear money. But there's other degrees of paper that we were told to attain. You were told to attain the high school diploma, the marriage certificate, the college degree, all these papers to define ourselves. So let me bring it back. I was always a good student. And even though I graduated high school with good grades and got accepted into college when I was a junior, I kind of just was going to school because that's what I was told to do. I would be lying if I said, oh, I wanted to go be a doctor. No, the one thing I did know is I always wanted to work for myself. But that's all the real direction I knew. And even though I wanted to work for myself at the time, I was like, well, why do I have to go to school? But that's what you did. You went to military or you went to school. So I graduated high school, went to school, and life started to happen, pretty young. My parents separated, and the whole house with the picket fence dream started to fall apart. Parents divorced, lost the house. We went from having it all to kind of not having everything real fast.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, what a graduation gift. What kind of crap is this,
I mean, divorce is treacherous.
It's treacherous.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of adults who haven't healed from divorce too. I'm not talking about your own divorce. I'm talking about the divorce that you witnessed.
Yeah.
We're all holding on to old traumas. And like I said,
I was in the middle of a divorce at 5 years old.
Look.
Yeah, and I was put in the middle of that, which is crazy. And to this day, I'm 44 years old, And to this day, I hold that shit on my motherfucking shoulder,
There you go.
You know what? But go ahead.
No, this is so good. And that's what I'm saying. No matter how much we can't, I have a program, and I'll talk about it, called the silent diet. And I like to say you can't out meditate, educate, pray, exercise, or out eat that silent diet. So we all have stuff that we're covering. And the goal to ultimate wellness is to dig that stuff up, look at it, and just kind of remold it, right? Just like you're in a garden and you have this big backyard and it's a bunch of weeds in there. And the land is still good. It just needs to be cultivated in order to yield good fruit. So what do you have to do to cultivate it? You don't get the good seed and sprinkle it on there. And that's what we're trying to do. I want to get the good body so I can have a happy life, but you ain't dealing with the stuff that's going on under the body. But we're a society of that. So don't feel bad if that's you. That's how we were all taught. No matter if you feel like crap, holding on to the divorce, holding on to the breakup, holding on to the lost house, holding on to the failed business, just try to keep outdoing that shit so you don't have to deal with it. And then you'll be okay. And then we wonder why we're a society that has more but feels less worthy, feels less desirable. That's why. We have to deal with that underlying stuff, right? But back to my story. Life happened fast, separated, and I started to really get, my parents separated, that is, and I started to get into a self journey. I didn't even know what it was called. We didn't grow up with that, I'm going to go find myself. Me and you were the same age.
Yeah.
And we didn't have that self-help, or it was out there, but it wasn't made, really known to us. Self-help, what? Only way to help yourself, go get a job, pay your bills. That's self-help, right?
Yeah.
So I just knew I needed to start to figure out what was this about. Here I am, good grades, but didn't even want to be in school. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's not part of the plan. Who preps you for those questions, So I began a journey and dropped out of college. Let me be truthful. Academic probation, I got put out of college because I was just going through with really no direction. So I went to junior college and I took a nutrition course. It was a prerequisite. That's all I thought it was. I took a nutrition course, and one of the classes they were talking about how animals get to your dinner plate from wild in the field to your dinner plate. So we had to watch the video, and back then that's when they had the, when they put the projector in the class. There really wasn't no DVDs. They had the projector up in the class. I'm dating myself like a mug, but that's how we watched stuff. So we're watching the video, and all of a sudden they show how the pig, they had the farm, and they brought it in, and it got slaughtered, and it was crying, and I'm in there crying. Like, I did not tell him, oh, poor piggy, what's going on? And at the time, my dad retired military, and we were both going to the same college. So I was eating, and he would cook and bring leftover food, and some chicken in there. I said, I'm not eating the chicken. And he like, shit, all right, well, we ain't gonna let the chicken wait. So he just scooped it out of my bowl, and he ate the chicken. And from that day on, I said, I'm gonna be a vegetarian. And I was a vegetarian for 5 years. And I didn't even know what I was doing. Being a vegetarian and being broke don't really mix at the time in the 90s. So I ate a lot of French fries, a lot of spaghetti, a lot of just plain stuff. Wasn't a lot of nourishment because I wasn't a big vegetable eater, as a kid. So that journey led me to really kind of tapping into myself. I did like a detox and was just trying to read different books of thoughts. I really got into that. This was the time that Erykah Badu came out. Ooh. So she really inspired me. I was like looking like, wow, that's me. You know what I mean? I shaved my hair off and started wearing wraps and just got into like different schools of thoughts, and because at that point I had just been to church like most of us had, and took that journey for some years. And then I kind of fell, I don't want to say ill, but I just got weak. I essentially was malnutrition. I didn't have the right nutrients in my body. And one day Mom was like, I'm gonna cook you some food and you gonna eat it. I said, okay. And I ate whatever's on that plate, animal and all. So I went back to eating meat for 10, 11 years or so. Just went back onto my life. And then always had questions, always kind of was free-spirited and studied different things. And at the same time, I had left school again. I was getting really good at leaving school. I left school again and started to venture towards LA and get into the whole modeling and acting thing because someone a couple times enough told me I was cute enough. I was like, that seems fun. I'm going to do that. And it was fun. It was a great adventure.
Smile and look good.
Just smile and look good. That was easy. I didn't want to think too hard.
Can I get paid doing that?
Exactly. And action.
Yeah.
That, you're like, there, $2,500.
Can you put that water on this side?
Of course.
And let's adjust your mic real quick before you keep going.
Yeah. Adjust me.
Yeah, let's do this.
All right.
Quick. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Like that. Hold that up for me right there.
Yep.
Okay, hold that up, and let's do that like that. There you go.
Perfecto.
Yes.
All right. So I did that for a while, just kind of being happy, living my best life. Late 20s, found out I had uterine fibroids. Didn't really know what that was. Women out there, if you have that, it's pretty common, particularly around or involving women of color. It's very common. So all I knew is they were like, the doctor can cut them out. I'm like, whoa. At the time, I didn't have any kids. I was like, you can't just cut me up. Like, kind of scared me. And because I got scared, I never went back to deal with that thing that was under the skin. I was like, I knew if I were to make changes then, it was going to change the life that I was, quite frankly, enjoying living. So I didn't want to deal with it, right? If you don't want to deal with it, you ignore it. And I did for like 7 or so years, even though I was having heavy cycles and all that stuff. Sorry, fellas, to, spook you out, but y'all got ladies, y'all know how it is. My cycles were heavy and all that, but you get used to it because the reality is you can get used to bullcrap. You can get used to stuff even if it ain't good, and I got used to just dealing with the heavy cycles. And at this time I had moved to Georgia because I just wanted to do something different. And I was also acquiring some kids, my sister's kids. So I was guardian of 2 young kids, and I'm in my 20s. So life was happening like a whole lot. And I just didn't want to deal with nothing extra. I was like, I'm going to deal with this right now. I'm going to deal with this womb later. I'm not having no kids anyways. I just, surprise, you got 2 kids. So I wasn't worried about what was going on in me. And some years later, got settled in Georgia, bought a home, and met my future husband. And then got pregnant. I was like, woohoo, having a baby. Yep. And then shortly after my pregnancy, I had a miscarriage. And I was like, oh, snap. I bet it's those things inside of me that I gotta deal with.
That you should put on the back burner.
Things I put on the back burner because I didn't want to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, we pick and choose what we want to deal with. And honestly, that's okay sometimes. But it doesn't go away if we don't want to deal with it. Just because we're choosing not to deal with something doesn't mean it's going to go away. So I was like, okay, miscarriage. Got to address it now, right? It's like redemption. I get a second chance. A friend of mine referred me to a doctor, and I'll never forget this moment, you guys. It really started my journey. And went to a doctor. It was a wonderful woman. And she, did her exam. And was like, okay, yep, there's no baby in there. I'm like, okay. And she's like, so you're young, you're okay, don't worry about it. She's like, I do see some fibroids. I was like, yeah, I know. I was told, didn't do nothing about it. She's like, don't worry about it. She's like, well, have you ever detoxed your body? And I said, well, I did when I was younger, but I didn't really stick to it. I just kind of went through the motion. She said, okay. And then she said something that really blew me away. She said, have you ever forgiven yourself for all the relationships that haven't went right? I was like, what? Yeah. She said that, and immediately after my face looked all crazy, I just began to cry. Something inside of me knew that she was onto something, or I resonated with whatever she was saying and wherever she was going with that. And I said, no, I haven't. I'm full of tears, all ugly tears too. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no. She's like, it's okay. And she began to explain some stuff to me. She began to talk about energies in our body and chakras and all this stuff that was, my mom was into metaphysics, and I had heard some of it, but when your mom is into something, you never really want to get into, right? It's just crazy stuff until life happens. You're like, what did mom say again? So I knew some of it, but I wasn't really aware of what it was. So she was like, our body has energy centers and our chakras are aligned here, and it keeps us going. It's really the energy, it's the chi that keeps us going. So it keeps us centered, and we have them from head to toe and all in between. She's like, and sometimes when we're angry or when we're harboring hate or shame or guilt or disgust or pride, that throws our energy off. Because when you think about energy is light. There's different frequencies and hertz of light, right? Light bulbs have different things, but energy is energy, and it's meant to shine. Even in the dimmest way, it's meant to shine. But if we're holding on to stuff that's covering up the shine, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. So she began to tell me that a lot of times we get unhealthy because we are not allowing the body to just be. And I was like, okay, just kind of taking it all in. And so she gave me a little set of instructions. She said, find a good detox. She was also a naturopathic doctor, which she didn't tell me too. She's like, go get a good detox and start just like journaling. Just like journal your emotions. Like talk to yourself. How are you feeling? And just really start to explore getting back to your happy place. And it hadn't really dawned on me that for all those years, I was just in work mode, taking care of the kids, gotta have a house, gotta have a job, have the money. And it took the fun out of life. So a lot of us might think when we get older, right? When we get older, it means that things aren't getting fun. No, we just forget to continue to have fun. So it seems like, well, by the time we're 35, life is a bore. No, we just got to remember to continue to have fun in the doing, in the taking care of your kids, in the, pursuit of a house, of a career. You still got to remember to have fun. The Bible says, in order to be renewed and to be saved, you got to be like a childlike. And that's what it means. You have to have the energy of a child. A child fails, gets back up. A child falls, scuffs up his head, keeps it going. We fail and I suck, and oh man, I ain't worthy of this, and we get into this entire sob story. And then we end up carrying all these extra burdens. So I began to journal and just kind of explore. I just became a researcher. I started having fun talking about researching healing and how I can be better and what this herb is do. Like, wow, this herb has been here for 5,000 years and it can help A, B, and C. So went along this journey and began a detox. And, you know, naturally we want to look good, right? The challenge I was having with the detox is that, you know, you're not eating meat, you're not eating cheese, you're not eating nothing. I started to drop weight real fast. I was looking crazy a little bit.
What kind of, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of detox were you doing?
At the time I was doing the herbal, it was a 20-day herbal cleanse, and it was pills, a whole bunch of herbal pills.
What are you eating?
Fruits, vegetables, juices, grain, like nuts and, you know, sunflower seeds, that type of stuff.
Kind of like the Dr. CB?
Yes. This was before I had heard of CB at the time. This was, you know, early 2000s to, you know, 2010, 12. He's been doing his thing for years. Respect to Ancestor CB, of course.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I started doing a detox, and the people were based out of LA. And it was really, really good. And I just got more committed to not like, dang, I want to get better so I can have a baby. I just got committed to, I want to get better. Like, I just want to feel different. Like, I don't want to feel like life isn't fun. I don't want to feel all these burdens. I just want to explore something new. I was tired of just being in the rat race. So in addition to being in the rat race, working my corporate job or whatever, I was just exploring and learning about life and how humans work and how our bodies work and how God works through us, and, you know, how we are part of source. And it just got really, really good and fun and interesting, and started tapping into some meditation, started, you know, changing how I pray, because we're taught to pray and beg, oh God, please do this. But if you realize that you and source are one, and God wants you, matter of fact, needs you to win, you say, thank you in advance for giving me this. I desire this in order to A, B, and C. And it's like God is our genie in a lamp. Our wish is his desire, but you ain't got, oh, please, please. Pray, listen to what to do, and I got you. The challenge with humans is we always think we know what to do in our conscious mind, in our rational mind. We'll talk about that a little bit. So I began to enjoy this journey of just self-discovery. Wow. And went back to the doctor for a follow-up. And they had to, you know, check, want to make sure I was okay. And they're looking, and she's like, oh, we don't see any fibroids. And she calling the specialist, and they got the little scope, and they're looking, and they're like, wow, we don't see any fibroids.
What exactly is a fibroid?
Yes. A fibroid is a benign mass or a benign tumor that lives in the womb area. So when you look at it, it really just looks like a mass. And sometimes...
Which can scare people and think it's cancer or something.
Exactly. Yeah. And majority of time, fibroids are non-cancerous. So, you know, but it's become so normalized that people are like, oh yeah, I have fibroids, and I get them cut out, and then they come back. Because we don't talk about how the fibroids got there in the first place. So if these masses are in your womb, and think about a baby grows in your womb, right? Sometimes it could compete for space, and sometimes it can cause for a complicated pregnancy. And even if you don't desire to have children, it just can be your cycles are heavy because you have these masses in your womb area. So the blood's not flowing, you know, thoroughly. It's not just flowing, it's having to fight to exit the body.
So I have a question real quick.
Yes.
I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, ask away.
Yeah, so for majority of females that have miscarriages, is it due to fibroids?
No, I can't say that.
Okay.
Miscarriages happen. They call them spontaneous. They happen for multiple reasons. You can be a healthy, totally healthy person. Doesn't mean you're ill at all. That was just my story.
Exactly.
But people have miscarriages. There's people that have late-term miscarriages and carry kids 6, 7, 8 months, and, you know, have what called stillbirth. That's still a miscarriage where they have to birth the child. But it could be stress. It could be malnutrition. It could be fibroids. It can be for reasons unknown, at least medically speaking. Yeah. It could be for reasons unknown. But we'll get into the subconscious and the emotional belief or attachment behind everything. And so they couldn't find any fibroids. And the doctor looked at me like a proud mom, like, very well, good job. So in the midst of me just wanting to heal myself, they went away.
Wow.
They went away. And then when I went back and without thinking or trying,
And this is due to your detox that you did.
I believe, and we're going to get into this, the detox was part of it. The herbal detox was part of the emotional journey. So the herbs supported the emotional work that I was doing.
Yeah.
The forgiving myself and forgiving those that I dealt with. Because, I was young and fly back in the day, doing my thing, whatever. So dealing with a lot of different people. When you deal with people, you take on their energy.
Yeah.
You take on their woes. You take on their bliss, too. It's not all, you're just taking on their drama. No, you take on the good and the not so good. And then your body has to process it all. And we don't see the processes. We feel them at times. And we take it in as, that person tripping, or I just feel a little weird all of a sudden, and not knowing that you really took in someone else's vibe, particularly the vibe of the person that you were intimate with. You're taking on a lot of them. Because remember, we're all energy. Energy just intermixes. Energy is non-discriminatory, unlike we've been taught to be. Energy don't discriminate, So it just does what it does. And I think just I know that allowing myself to process these pent up emotions that I had, that I suppressed so well, because I'm pretty easygoing, and I didn't know I was tripping off A, B, and C, and not just male relationships, but parental relationships and relationships you have with the education system, or that teacher that told you ain't this, or that person that always bullied you, not just romantic relationships. All interaction with people has a positive or negative effect in our being, especially if we don't know, we're unaware. It just happens. So I was fascinated and pleased by that. And shortly thereafter, I wasn't trying, but, got pregnant, had a baby. I wasn't trying, hint, hint, but, did. And, everything went well. So well, they tried to box me because, I was 35. In medical term, like to say your advanced maternal age. Us people here, we come from lineage. Grandma be having baby. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother is having kids in the 30s and 40s. So when they say me at 35 is mature, I'm like, no, it ain't. Our people's we don't die, we multiply, we make babies. So, but the medical term want to tell you that, it's advanced maternal age, but everything went well. So well that I had her breached. She decided to come out literally showing her ass, and I was able to have her breached naturally, no drugs, and amazing. It was a beautiful process. Whew, it was a process. So after all this, I become a mom. I'm married, and I'm like, wow, I didn't really get a chance to integrate everything that I had been through, because I went from getting rid of the fibroids, then getting pregnant, then having the baby, then getting married. So once I got to settle in, then introducing my nephews to uncle and, all this stuff. Once I settled in, I'm like, well, what am I going to do with this story? What am I going to do with everything that I experienced? What is this? So I went through something that I wasn't really sure what it was. Was it a miracle? Was it intention? Was it magic herbs? What was it? And I was like, I really want to tap into what I experienced. And so at first I was like, I'm going to be a hypnotherapist. But I was like, no, I'm not going to be a hypnotherapist, because once again, this is the good student who don't like a lot of school. Yeah. Because I ain't going to do that. So then I was like, well, I'll be a personal trainer, because I figured after I had my daughter, I gained a lot of weight and I worked it off, started juicing and all that stuff, so I can help people that way. That was my thought. And I did that for a little bit, moved back to California with the family, did that. But then I noticed something with people, with humans. They do something because they're emotionally stressed, and then they want you to come fix that stuff. Oh my God, I just had 18 margaritas. I need to get this together because I got to go on a vacation in 2 weeks. I'm like, you want me to fix that? You want me to fix what you did because you were emotionally stressed. Yeah. And the aftermath. And then it just clicked. Why do people act out emotionally by doing things that's going to set them back? And I was like, this is where I'm going to go with this. So I stopped training people because it was repetitious. You try to get them on a meal plan, and then you get them to exercise. And when you're not with them, because you only train someone 2-3 days a week unless they got the money for that. And it's like, how can I get in people's mind to really, really commit to the life that they want to live? So that's essentially what it was. How do I help people commit on a mental plane to where they really want to be? Because that's why the diet industry is such a rich industry, right? Because we fall off, in short. humans fall off.
We're always looking for another alternative, another plan to get back on track. And a lot of us are always looking for Band-Aids, like you said. Like, you know, some people come in and say, hey, I drank them 18 margaritas, you know. I'm going on a trip. I need to get this shit fixed within 2 weeks. I need to get that bikini on or that you know, whatever it is, you know.
Speedos or whatever.
Speedos, yeah.
Y'all men be walling out now.
You're going to Miami.
Exactly.
I mean, if you go to Miami, you got to have Speedos on. If I ever go to Miami, I'm going to have a pair of Speedos on. You know?
Boom. But that was it. And I was like, I felt like I was more like a doctor. And disclaimer, not slamming, knocking doctors. Doctors are necessary. They have a job here. But the dependency that we as humans have on doctors to fix our ills when we are with us more than the doctor is the challenge. Because a doctor is going to tell you, you got these symptoms, take this, have a nice day. Which is meaning doctors in Western medicine in general, they're taught to deal with the symptoms. You have a headache, take this pill. You're depressed, take that pill. You're fat, take this concoction. Your knee hurt, put a patch on it. That's how we've all been taught. You can't see, put on glasses, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So that's just how they were taught. But until we figure out why we're having the migraines, and until we figure out why our knee hurts, and until we figure out why our blood pressure's high, and until we figure out, and there's multiple reasons, right? But until we can get to the root of why we're having the pain or having the, I can't get it together, we're going to keep feeding these industries that quite frankly are not really here to heal us. They're here to just keep us content. You good, you know, you good. But they're not here to heal us because the truth is, it's no one else's job to heal us. That's like on us. You know that saying, we all we got, we really are all we got. We have come here equipped with everything that we need to heal. So I tapped into that part of myself and like sitting with the fact that that happened with me and started reading stories of people. There's things called the placebo effect, and I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with it. Let's say 20 people have diabetes and the doctors say, take this pill for 30 days and your diabetes is going to go away. They don't know it's a sugar pill, but they take the pill. Of the 30 people, 27 of them, their diabetes has went away. I'm speaking of type 2 diabetes. How did that happen? Kind of find out, surprise, you were just taking a sugar pill. Did the pill heal them? No, it's sugar. They have diabetes. The pill didn't heal them. What healed them was the belief that the pill was going to heal them.
That's
I can get used to that.
No, that's just powerful right there. That's just powerful right there. You know what I mean? Because we don't know what the fuck's in these fucking pills, you know what I mean? But we know that if we take this pill, someone above our pay grade is saying that this is gonna fucking help us. So us, you know, not educated, most of us, right, on these categories, these certain situations, we're gonna believe the person in the white coat and the professional dude that's got the Maserati in the fucking parking lot. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hey, he's got to know what the fuck he's talking about. I'm gonna take this fucking pill. Go ahead, go on. But it's really
you
really
nailed
in
it.
our head.
It's
right?
it's really in our head. There's so many things. No matter what school of thought you believe, it's ancient. As a man or as a woman thinketh, so he shall become. That is like foundation of this world. It's just the foundation. It's the same reason why someone with a so-called silver spoon can grow up and not be shit, but someone that came from nothing can have the biggest freaking come up. It's not the circumstances, it's the belief like, I'm going to make it. That is what determines
the mindset.
It's all a mind game. And the thing is, most of the industries that control our life, all of the industries that control our life are very aware of this. When I was in college, I took a business marketing class and they talked about this. I was 20 years old and they talked about why they use 99 in sales and why they use certain colors in marketing. And I was like, we are being puppets.
Yeah.
It's a whole science.
I mean, 99%, I mean, is a great percentage. If you take this 99% or a color, you know what I mean? A color that you know what I mean, you are attracted to, that you might like. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, just go ahead. I'm feeling this right now.
No, this is something that we're just going through life, nilly-willy, and people are planning for what we don't know. People make plans for humankind based on what we do not know and what we do not know particularly about ourselves.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Are you taking the vaccine?
No.
No, you're not. Because you feel like that's just the sugar pill.
Disclaimer. Respect to anybody. Study to show thyself approved. Do what you do. Just be well-versed. Do not do something from lack of self-knowledge. Don't do something because you believe that a person in a white coat with the Maserati with the degrees knows better than you. That is my whole goal with humans, is to get us back to knowing who we are. Like who we are, what's in us, what our DNA is about, where we come from, the power that we have. So I'm not taking the vaccine because most vaccines, if you're following medical sciences, I'll give you a couple of reasons. Most vaccines are researched 7 to 10 years. This thing been researched 7 to 10 months. So we're actually, even if you do take it, you have to know that you are being tested on. It just is. We're tested on in a lot of things. We are, but you have to know that we are being tested on. Further, the survival rate for this virus is way too high for me to get a shot of anything. Finally, I'm not going to let someone who isn't around me more than me tell me, especially if this person is not a doctor, tell me that I need to do this or I will die. And I'm not going to take anything that's going to make me feel like I have it in the first place. I've talked to a lot of people who've taken it, particularly second dose, and they feel like they're going to die. I'm good. I can make myself feel like I'm going to die all by myself. I'm not doing that. So study, you guys. Know what you're doing. Do not let fear drive you to the grave. I repeat, do not let fear in anything drive you to the grave. So no, I'm not taking that shot.
You know what, throughout this time, this COVID, this past year, that we have been just hammered with these news articles, these reporters, Dr. Fauci, we had fucking Trump up there, we had everybody and their mom up there, I felt like the news outlets have been really poisonous to our fucking mind, and it came to a point where I told my girl, I said, hey, check it out, turn that motherfucking news off. You know what I mean? Because every time I watch the news, it gave me fucking anxiety. You know what I mean? It made me feel like our life was limited. It was coming to a time where we can possibly die because of this virus, you know? So I told her, turn the news off. I said this news isn't healthy for us.
You must want to be here all night, because you just opened up all sorts of cans of worms.
I want to be here all night because I want us to get educated. I want us to understand what the fuck's in front of us.
So you said something very key. You said watching that news was giving you anxiety. Let's talk about anxiety, because I believe so many people are suffering from it and they don't have to. But it's hard to escape it. It's hard to escape it.
Hold on real quick. Is that you, my boy? Turn that shit off, bro. Turn that off, though. Thank you. Sorry about that.
No. All good. Okay. So anxiety is when we have a fear of tomorrow.
Yeah.
When you're anxious, you're never anxious when you're present. That's what makes meditation so powerful. You're not anxious when you're just, and your mind is right here. You're cool. Like, we're cool right now. Yeah. We're cool. We're only anxious when we're like, dang, when I leave here, I gotta go get the kids, and I gotta make sure I make it to Target by 8 o'clock, and when I don't make it to Target, dang, I ain't gonna get this, and I have to wait till the morning, so I'm gonna get up early in the morning. That's when anxiety kicks in, when we're thinking ahead. Our job is to be present and to be still. And a lot of times people say, oh, meditation, I don't mean sitting there for an hour, which is great if you can. To meditate means to be right here, right now. Even if it's a minute in your car, the power of stillness can change a whole game for humans. Why? Because able to hear any divine messages that are coming to them. They're able to hear themselves. We're not even in touch with ourselves right now. We just going. We don't even feel ourselves. So it's funny that saying, oh, you feel me? We don't even feel ourselves, really, you know. So watching the news always has you thinking about the next thing that's out to get you. So naturally, that's going to produce anxiety. Anxiety produces high blood pressure. High blood pressure produces potentially swelling and heart disease. Heart disease potentially produces death. All from thinking ahead, particularly thinking ahead of some stuff that don't make you feel good. I'm not talking about thinking ahead to your trip to Miami in your Speedos. I'm talking about thinking ahead of, I might not make it if I go outside tomorrow. That's going to make you anxious. And all the money in the world cannot correct that unless you are aware of the power of stillness. So turn off the news. If simple things, what can I do to start healing? Turn off the thing that's driving you crazy, whether it's the radio, the news, your mom and daddy and them, whatever it is that's making you go crazy, turn it down.
You can never turn the kids off, though.
Get them a tablet. That's what we do. Just saying, love you, baby. Hi. No, but, you know, and I'm a parent, so, you know,
Yeah,
I get you.
too.
You know,
Yeah.
I get it. But it's amazing how the kids are when they see mom and dad changing. It's amazing what will come from that. My daughter will come in, see me in the closet. Oh, mommy's in the closet. She's breathing in the closet. You just hear her back out, and she know, y'all tone it down.
You do it in the closet?
I do it in the closet. I have a big family. I have a lot of people in my house, so my spot is the closet.
You must have a big closet.
It's decent, but it's a little cubicle I have. It's like a little 4x, and I have my little space there, my little pillow for me to sit on, my candle, you know, my sage, and I just create the space because we all have time and we all have space. It might not be ideal, but ideal is relative. So I just make it happen because I know I need to do it or else I will be a victim of anxiety. The journey of a healer is every day. I'm not, oh, I've arrived. No bullshit. I'm healing every day. The same way we could feed our thoughts. I can't do this. Oh, I'm stressed out. Oh, all this is the same way we could feed our thoughts of love, of compassion and understanding with ourselves. Like, you know what? I've been through a lot, but I'm still here. Give thanks. You know what? I just got a 20% pay cut, but I'm still making it. Give thanks. It's those type of things. The more you're grateful is the more things you have to be grateful for because it's vibration. You see, if I'm grateful, like I said, got here late, but I'm grateful we didn't hit no accident in ourselves. You guys didn't close the door on me. So it wasn't ideal, but still gratitude because I'm here to share a message. It's beyond me. So anytime we could find a space of grace, it multiplies because gratitude is a high vibration. It's up here when, you know, solemn and being guilty and feeling ashamed is down here. So even in the midst of the crap, but you know what? I don't feel good. But you know what? But I'm still, you see what I'm saying? It raises no matter what. It's not about combating the 50 to 60,000 thoughts you have a day. It's about realizing, dang, I don't like how these thoughts make me feel. I don't have to have them. It's really that simple. And remember back in the day, we used to listen to the radio a lot. If you don't like a song, what you do? Change the station.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that. I want to hear the. I want to hear that. Yeah, I like that. That's what we have to do with ourselves. No matter how much pills they prescribe you, you're still going to have to deal with yourself. So my job is, let's make that shit fun. Let's deal with ourselves and let's have fun with it. Because at the end of the day, when I heal, you heal. When you heal, she heals. When she heals, because we're all one. We all come from the same energy source. We all come from the same God. So the work I'm doing is going to be reflected in everybody that I come across with. Same with you, Lucky. You think what you're doing right now is just for you and just chasing the paper and chasing the bag, but you're changing the narrative in your children's life, in your mom and daddy life, even if they're not here. Because energy never dies. Our ancestors might not be here, but the energy is just going to come back right where we are. That's reincarnation. When they say after you die, you go to heaven. Heaven is realization. And you come back and you're like, oh, I didn't quite get that. Energy comes back. That's when people come back, you're like, dang, she looked just like my grandpa, or she acts just like my grandma, or she's just like so-and-so. That's because the same energy is come back in a different form.
That's fucking amazing. Let me say something right now
Please.
on that note. You said chasing the paper. The paper is always nice because the paper helps you live and helps you pay the bills, and sometimes it's a little less stressful when you have X amount of paper to take care of these things in front of you, right? You know, life, right?
Yeah.
You know, living. The means of life, you got to have a little bit of paper to, you know, keep the roof over your head and shit, you know. And so the paper with this podcast, the paper does help, you know, but most importantly, the energy is fucking huge. And I want to make an announcement right here. The homie Rudy Youngster Vargas that we had last weekend, you guys are fucking amazing. Our energy is fucking amazing. Why is that? Because homie is taking... He's on his way to Union Station right now as I speak, and he's taking a one-way fucking train to fucking Vegas, bro, to get out of the fucking hood and start a new life in Vegas. He had someone since the podcast, he had an opportunity that was given to him after the podcast and said, hey, someone reached out to him and said, hey, my G, come out here to Vegas. Come out here to Vegas, my boy. I'm going to give you a job and a roof over your head, bro. And we're going to start fucking new. This is a new chapter. You know what I mean? So, and that right there.
Come on.
Whew,
Come on.
That right there makes this podcast, that's bigger than motherfucking any motherfucking dollar amount you can motherfucking give me, because on some real shit, you know what I mean? I ain't a money hungry motherfucker because I make cool money when I work.
Yeah.
You know, I make good money when I'm work. You know what I mean? I'm a union electrician. I make good money, you know? But that right there, I'll take, you know what? If I can get homie out to fucking, if doing that podcast, it gave him an opportunity, a change of thought to make him feel that he's better, he's greater than what the present situation that he's in right now. And he's going and doing that. I'll take that. You can put a fucking $10,000 fucking check in front of me, or a stack of motherfucking some racks right now, you know what I mean? And say, hey, Lucky, you want this, or do you want the homie to go to Vegas? I said, I don't want the homie to go to Vegas. You keep your motherfucking money, homie, you know what I mean? Because I work my side. I work my 9 to 5 already, you know what I mean? And this podcast right here is to growth. It's to make us better. It's to give us tools. It's to have reflection, you know what I mean, on one's life, which reflects on our life, you know what I mean? But yeah.
No.
Keep on going.
Come on,
girl.
preach
Keep
to me.
on. I'm just saying,
that's it. And so let's touch on that. Who did that? Did the guy in the white coat and the Maserati do that?
He didn't do that.
Did the people that told him you getting sentenced to A, B, and C do that? Or did the collective do that?
We did that.
We did that. And we have to stop thinking that those things are just one-offs. We have the power to create that kind of magic and magnetism in our life all the time. Lucky didn't have to do this. He could have said, I ain't got this. I got kids. I just got to do that. What he is doing here is providing growth, hope, healing, everything to people you do not even know. So I just want to acknowledge that right now. You don't have to do that, but you're doing this.
Most people, what do they tell you? They said, I ain't got time. I ain't got time. But you know what? We got time right here. This.
We have time.
We got time.
But more importantly, we have intention.
The intentions are correct right here. Absolutely.
We have intention. And that's why we feel hopeless as people. We say, oh man, I don't want this. But they don't stop to ask yourself, I want you guys to stop right now and ask yourself, you know what you don't want? What is it you want? Because that is the building blocks of all change, of all shifts, of all transmutation of your current experiences. What do you want? We talk all day, oh, I don't want them locking us up. Oh, I don't want them all in my shit. What do we want individually and then collectively as a community? We have to agree on that first. But the challenge is we're not in harmony with ourselves. And you'll be hard pressed to fix a community without the individuals who make the community whole first. Why? Because it's a whole bunch of broken pieces trying to hold up a city. Can you imagine that? A whole bunch of jacked up Jenga pieces trying to hold up a city of 2 million people.
A bunch of lost souls.
So we got to do the work. And I'm going to one day come up with a phrase that's better than do the work. People hear work and they're like, oh no. What I'm saying is you have to allow the process. You have to embrace the process, the journey within. And we're all going through it. Do you understand as a people, black people, brown people, all the same people? Don't believe the hype. We are very resilient, very, very, very resilient. And we have exerted so much energy into fighting just to barely make it, like just to scrape, like just to get noticed. Could you imagine the power that us and all people could have if they shifted that intention into full on self-sufficiency, self-reliance, self-love, helping one another? The reason why we are at the mercy of the government, because we're not governing ourselves. It's the only reason we're at the mercy of the government. Because initially, and in other countries it's that way, the government's supposed to work for us, we the people. But it's all flipped around. Why? Because people don't want to be accountable. People don't want to have this conversation. Dang, you know what? 10 years ago, I really hurt so-and-so, and I didn't deal with it. And I kept doing that same thing because I thought I got away with it. And here I am now, 50 years old, hella medication, on SSI, and I want to apologize to that person because I'm reflecting and realize all the pain I caused them, I'm causing myself. But ouch, how do I do that without looking like a punk, without looking like a simp, without looking like a herb? Where's the outlet for us to stop scraping just to get by and we start building to thrive? But we have to deal with our shit. And it's okay, because what happens is when you deal with the shit, there ain't no more shit to deal with. Once we deal with it.
I'm gonna be hitting this shit all motherfucking night, baby. You know what I mean? She's dropping motherfucking jams right here. Sasha, let's go, girl.
Let's deal with it. I'm from that same era. Don't let the talk fool you. I'm here with my girl. My people are watching. My parents worked hard, but I like to say we were always 2 blocks away from the chaos. We were like in the suburbs, but like 2 blocks and a bus ride away from the shootings and the drama. So we intermingled with it all. I saw many friends and have many friends incarcerated, dead. And some of them aren't dead just from like street violence. Real talk, we've lost people in their 40s to heart disease, strokes, people that graduated school after us and with us didn't make their 25-year reunion because they were in the grave, because of cancer, because of strokes, because of mental disease. This is real talk, you know. How do we combat this for ourselves? Once we can get on a joint agenda, there's nothing they can do. We can rebuild this corrupt system because the system wasn't really made for us. Because when we go into the system, we can't reform the system unless we follow their system. And that's a problem. If you're not wanting to hear my fresh ideas from someone who came from that environment to make a change, you're telling me, oh, okay, Sasha, that sounds good, but we have to do it like that. That's a problem. We have to totally be willing to eradicate and start from the bottom up and rebuild this mug like our ancestors did when they got here. Rebuild after they burned us out of our cities and looted us out of our cities. We have to be willing to rebuild that and piss people off in the meantime. See, we're trying to be radical and then make everybody happy at the same time. You can't be lukewarm. We have to be willing to say, we are going to rebuild out of love, out of equality, out of justice, not out of all this other stuff, you know, because we were all aliens at once upon a time. I'm a child of immigrant parents. Plenty of us are children of immigrant parents. And before we were aliens here, we were aliens in a whole nother dimension. I'm not even going to go there. It's a whole nother show. But we were all that. And the people that are running this land, that are declaring that you don't want any infiltrators here because they're aliens. My question is, how did you get here? Where did you come from? Now, I'm all for not having people here that's causing drama. You causing drama where you was, stay over there. But if you come here on some righteousness and trying to build up, come through. And this is the type of energy that we have to rebuild our world. But first, it starts with us. And it is uncomfortable to sit in your stuff, you guys. Especially as men. I'm one of the few coaches in my realm as a woman that deals with men. I have men clients too. Because we've been taught, don't cry. Men, don't cry. Man up. That's the main thing y'all been taught, right? Man up. Man up. But how about before that man is up, he's a man down? You want the man to man up, but he's a man down. He's emotionally taxed. He's mentally taxed. He's financially taxed. He's all this, but you want him to man up. And then you wonder why our families are falling apart at the core, because the man is not manned up. He's man down. We have to help support the men in building them up and reprogramming all the BS that they've been taught. You know, men can't cry. My mom always told me, well, if a man can't cry, why did God make him with tear ducts? Everybody can cry. Allow the men to cry. Allow the men to fall on their knees. Women, hold them. Women, stop being extra independent. I got this. I don't need you. I don't need that. Great divide. Yes, women birth the nation. We are necessary. We are mandatory. We are all that. There is no nation without the woman. However, if we are so independent from our counterpart of our polarity and they are man down and not manned up, we are going to be a family that's constantly divided. The biggest reason divorce is money. Because you should be able to do this and you should be able to do that. But how can he or she do when she's under the confines or he's under the confines of you can't cry or you can't seek this? So we're all being burdened by this stuff that's not even ours. So the question is, what do we want? We are all in pursuit of something, but we don't even know if that's what we really want.
You are so freaking beautiful. This is fucking
Let's
amazing.
go.
We
Let's
need
heal.
this. We need this. You're gonna be we need you here at least
do
once
it.
every couple months.
Let's
you know
do
what I
it.
mean? Because we always need to just tap into the
Gotta tap.
foundation, the core of our beings. And right now you are doing it. This is new.
receive.
This is new to Hood Stocks right here, and this is something that is very much needed to this audience right here. This is a gift to you motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And you better tell Sasha thank you after this motherfucking podcast, baby.
Oh,
Shit.
we still got stuff to go.
No, we going.
It's okay to tap in, you guys. Yes, it's scary, right? But so is the stuff we do in the streets that get us in jail. That's kind of scary too. So we're just taking our scared and we just shifting it in another direction. You know, I grew up in the generation of super macho men. You know, I didn't recall my father crying until I was very grown. I'm not saying he didn't, but I didn't see it. And that goes with uncles and homeboys. You saw them cry at the homeboy's funeral, you know. You didn't really just see them cry. And a couple years ago, I started this hashtag, like, you know, let men heal. Let them heal. Women, it's okay to support them. We need the unit together. When's the last time you talked to your kids and be like, you good? Just, you good? Especially with all this. I have kids, how much kids in the house? 1, 2, 3, 4 kids in the house or something. And they were all active and all busy. And then COVID hit. All their activities just got snatched away. Did we talk about how that could affect them? Even the little one, she was in drama and she was in cheer. And 2 weeks before a cheer competition, we spent money on the costume and it just, oh well. We made her wear it for Halloween though, don't trip. Like, we gonna get some use out of this money, right?
Absolutely.
But everybody's life got affected. What a powerful time it is for us to heal. But what a lot of us did is, as opposed to what you said, turn the TV down, we turn that mug up. And what you turn up grows. In anything, what you turn up grows. We turned on the TV, we got Afraid to Live. And don't get me wrong, first couple, weeks and months of that was I was like, we're in a movie. Like, we are living those movies, those Armageddon movies and those, not I Am Robot, the other one with Will Smith, I Am Legend. Whew. We're living those movies.
I just rewatched that the other day. Yeah, it's like,
go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah. We're living that right now. Like, it's important to pause and recognize, like, dude, this is some scary stuff that we're in. But just like in the movie, see, that hero stuff is not just for the movies. That's us. How can we become the hero in our own story? And if you look at all those movies, the first thing they have to do is realize, dang, we in the midst of something. When Will Smith was alone, he like, dang, I'm alone. Me and my dog, The only way he was able to survive is because he stopped and realized the position he was in. We don't like to stop and realize the position we in. We just keep going. But you can't win until you process. You can't progress until you process. You got to process where you are in order to progress to the next level. But we haven't done that, so we turn the TV on, and that's amplified. Don't leave here. Don't do that. Everyone's dying. Families are getting around each other, all 18 of them dead. I mean, they found the most horrific stories to share. And I'm not saying didn't happen. And I want to send my love and my sincere healing energy to anyone who was affected by COVID. Because whether you lost a person physically, whether you had it yourself, or whether you just were affected by the shutdown, it's affected everybody, man, woman, and child. You know how much people I know that couldn't go to the hospitals to see their loved one take their last breath?
That's horrible.
Couldn't be there to see their first grandchild or child born. I can't even imagine. Actually, I can, because we went through it, you know? Yeah. So I'm honoring everybody in that space, but what a beautiful space. And you're like, okay, Sasha, you're talking all this, that, you know, the year passed. We still have an opportunity to pause for a moment and be like, dang, how am I dealing with all of this stuff? Like, how is this making me feel? What's real and what's not? We don't question what's real and what's not. Why, Lucky? Because we're told the guy in the white coat in the Maserati knows better than us. We're taught that the teacher knows better than us. We're taught that the politicians know better than us. We are not taught that we are equal to those that have a higher position. Never been taught.
I think the news outlets and just like we'll just say TMZ, we'll just say all news outlets have taught us this past year that we shouldn't believe everything of what everybody's telling us, because there's been contradictions. You know, there's been contradictions of what they tell us, like with the governor of California. What's his name again? Newsom, yeah, Newsom, you know, Newsom got himself in trouble because he said, hey, you know, there's a mandate to not being in large groups, and then he got himself in trouble. He got caught on tape, or if it was a picture or whatnot, and now he's getting shitted on because he was in a dinner party with a bunch of people that were unmasked, and they were doing their thing. But I think if you paid attention, I mean, even though I've turned the news off, I have paid attention to the news and the drama, so to speak, right? That we can't believe everything that we're being told, especially if the people that are telling this, they're not practicing what the fuck they're preaching, you know? It's been a testament this past year that, man, and it's really raised an uproar. Like, people are just like really searching, they're grabbing, they're reaching for like what the truth, what it is, you know what I mean? But I think what you're saying is the truth is within ourselves.
Always. Have you guys ever been watching the news? And I'm assuming a lot of people watching your show are unplugged from the Matrix just a little bit. So this is why this is a great, great audience.
And no disrespect, but some of us are, you know, unplugged.
Yeah.
You know, if we like to hear it or not. You know?
Yeah, and it's all love. It's all love. But haven't you guys watched the news or read some information? Take it even back to your history books in school. Have you ever read something and it didn't just jive? You was like, that don't even sound right. That's the first inclination that you should do research. But we weren't taught that. You know, the only thing we researched in school was our history papers about the founding fathers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only stuff we were taught to research. We weren't taught to follow that inner guide that says, this sounds like some bullshit. Like, we weren't taught to do that.
Your conscience, right?
Your conscience, you know? And a lot of things are blocking that, but the main thing that blocks it is self-doubt. Well, nah, that's nothing, Sasha, because remember, Miss So-and-so said in fourth period that. So you just throw it down, you know? Yeah. And that's not really it, because, you know, the doctor said, or the sergeant said, or whatever said. All these titles take you away from your own greatness. There's nothing wrong with the titles, but it's when you mix titles with lack of self-awareness, it's a scary thing.
Lack of education.
Lack of education. My people perish for lack of knowledge. It's scriptural. It's everywhere. And it's ancient. It's true. That's why we're so easily had by these influencers on social media and all these politicians, because they can talk a good one. And we've been taught, we have been programmed to believe a good one. Politician, they have speechwriters. There's not a politician that the words he recites are his own, or not very many of them. Maybe some write their own stuff every now and then. But overall, there's someone making 6 figures to write a script and read it to millions of people. Just sit with that for a minute. The speechwriter game is real. And you can concoct and put anything in the story because it just got to sound good, because the powers that be know that we just got to calm them down a little bit. We just got to give them a little bit, and then they'll be quiet. Painful to hear, ain't it?
Sound bites.
Yeah, sound bites.
It's nothing but a bunch of sound bites.
So it sounds good. Hello, and I'm coming to you today from the White House, and I'm the president of the United States, and it sounds good.
Yeah,
and by the
it sounds
time
official.
it sounds official, by the time we done hearing it, we don't even question what we were feeling. We're like, no, they're right. This is deep, deep, deep psychology that's being played. And they can say whatever they want to awaken people, to aware people. It's not even about what they're saying. It's what they're saying in alignment with who we know ourselves to be. When we don't know who we are, we're screwed. And that's where we are now. So the question is, how do we get ourselves out of this rut? Like I shared with you guys before, the first thing is,
how do we do it?
Let me start a little list here. Ask yourself, who are you? Outside of your name.
Who are you?
I am a unique, this is a meditation and a mantra I say to myself every day. I'm a unique, most high manifestation of the Most High. That's what I say to myself every day.
Who is God?
All of us.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
All of us are God, because we all have control.
Here's the thing. In the beginning, so scripture starts off and it says, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth.
Yes.
God said, let there be light. And there was light. And we said, okay, there's a we in that. So when I read that from a analytical mind, my conscious mind, I'm like, who's the we that said, okay, we're going to create light and we're going to create, and then we created man in our image and likeness. So if you ask me, we means God had a legion of people, angels, whatever you want to call them, that was like, we're going to create people in our image and likeness. A lot of us get caught up in the image. That's why they were very, very hard pressed to make Jesus appear white. Make man in our image. And then when you see the image, is someone who looked like my 3rd grade teacher. So we're already reprogrammed to think that that's God. That's what we're programmed to think. But when we tap in and hear we decided, we means there was more than one that agreed. Even if you believe it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, those are 3 different entities from the same being. So we all have come from that same being.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. We the people.
We the people. When he said, let's make them, he made them. Lucky, Sasha, and all these other beautiful people here. So when you realize it, and they said God is omnipotent and omnipresent, he's all the place, all powerful, all the time. He has to be everywhere. He has to be where we all are. And that's why reproduction keeps on going. Because if we start reproducing, where's God? We are God in the flesh. We are one with God, as God, through God. In my belief, there is a mighty, mighty divine force, and we are all expressions of that divine force. So we have all the things that we need in order to manifest heaven on earth, because we are God in human form. In the Bible, it says, before you were made in your mother's womb, I knew you. That means there was a plan and there's all the tools. So our job here now on earth is just to pull them tools out and figure out how to use them mugs.
And what are those tools?
We all have something called a conscience. A conscience is that thing that lies in us. It's our all-knowing. To me, it's the divine GPS that God put in all of us before we go. He's like, before you go down to that earth, because earth is a crazy place, let me give you something. And hooked it up right there. But if we all have a GPS and we don't plug into it, it's just a GPS. So the challenge is we got to tune in our GPS and use it. I got here because of my GPS. Just because it's on my phone don't mean it's doing anything for me. I have to, intention, I'm putting in Lucky's address so I can get here, etc. All of us have a GPS. We just don't plug it in. So our consciousness, activating our consciousness is the first thing. So before we are, I'm Sasha and this is Lucky and we're two people. Before we came in flesh and bones, we were consciousness. I like to say we're the God spark. We are the best of God in human form. That means we are a reservoir of love. And clearly God is creative because he keeps reproducing us over and over and over and over and over again. So God loves the creative process. We're creative, we're consciousness, we're caring, we're alive. We are the same minerals as stars. So we are stardust. Stars have magnesium and sodium and all those stuff that we have in our body that we need in our body. The same things that are in stars are in us.
So you're not a flat earther?
You know what? I never really got into the flat versus round. I really think more in consciousness. The earth is what it is. What we are in it is what makes the world.
You believe in science and mathematics?
I do believe in divine science and mathematics. I don't believe in how, if it's misconstrued to have people running in fear of their life, you know. I'm a huge believer of epigenetics.
What is that?
So we have our DNA, right?
Yeah.
And we've been told that our DNA is our DNA. And there's some parts of our DNA that can't be changed from what I know. I'm 5'7.5". I don't think I'm going to grow anytime soon. But if I put enough intention behind it, perhaps I can grow another inch. So I'm not going to say you can't, but I'm cool being this height. But there's other parts of our DNA. Epi means outside of, and genetics. So there's things outside of that we can control. And this is where healing takes place, deep, deep healing. This is where the stories of those people who are on their deathbed, you hear these stories all the time, people on their deathbed and something kicked in them. They're like, I'm not going out like that. And 3-4 weeks later, they walking out the hospital. We think those are one-offs, but those are the people who said, I'm changing my story right now. Because anytime you have breath in you, you have the opportunity to change your story, which makes breathing so powerful, because breathing is our life force. Absolutely. Most of us get anxiety and get depression because we don't properly breathe. And when you properly breathe, you alkalinize your body. That's why people like, Dr. Sebi can just have some herbs and be good for all day because you know how to breathe. When you alkalinize your body, you build up your immune system. Your immune system is just not that thing that, it's where I don't catch colds and all that stuff. Your immune system is your defense around life, period. And it's also where your intuition lies. So it's very, very important because your immune system really lies in your gut area. And a lot of reason people are succumbing to diseases because their gut's all backed up. And your gut backed up, you're gonna open up yourself to diseases because in your gut is wasted food. It's toxic. Remember we talking about you got to let the shit out? Yeah. If you don't let the shit out, it's fermenting. You ever walk by a pile of dog poop and it smells and there's flies? That same thing goes on in us, but we just don't pay attention to it. That same thing goes on with us emotionally. We don't pay attention to it. 7 years old, I witnessed a fight that blew my mind. I couldn't believe I saw that. It created trauma inside of my body. And when we hear trauma, we think gunshot or got hit by a car or something like that. But trauma just means impact.
All levels.
All levels. So when I saw this fight that shook me, because I had never seen anything like that, those emotions, I internalized those emotions. Where did those feelings go? Where did that vibration go? It just hit in different parts of our body. Our organs are alive and they're receptive to how we feel. So I saw the fear from that. What happens when you're afraid? You do that. Oh my God. And when I saw that fight, that happens. That's why scientifically speaking and energetically speaking, fear is a disease of the lungs because you cut your breath off when you're afraid. And that's why it's important to make sure you're breathing and you're clearing your space. If you got something to say to somebody, say it. Don't block that breath. Because when you're angry, you do like this and you don't breathe. Let it out. Hey, I got to talk to you. You don't have to yell. You don't have to worry about how they're going to respond. Forget all that. But when you understand now, fear is a disease of the lungs. And if I don't let that shit out, it's going to cause potentially open me up to a cold that don't go away, that turns into pneumonia, that turns into all this other stuff, then I die. Dang, I need to go in and express myself to this person real quick. Or if you're afraid of life, anytime you see somebody walking down the street and you clutch your purse and you got to work that emotion out around whatever trauma you have around thinking someone going to snatch your purse. If someone snatched your purse when you were younger, forgive them, learn from it, and keep it moving. And that's really how healing the emotional body works. Forgiveness. Look, man, I'm not even trying to get all holy and all that, because clearly you guys see I'm a little holy and I'm a little hood. And I think that's just the way I was made to be.
That's why you're here, baby.
That's why I'm here. When I heard this, shout out to my nephew, Anthony, who got me on this show.
Ooh, absolutely.
Shout out to him. And he's a big fan of you guys. He's like, oh, Tia. That's my name, Tia.
I'm a big fan of him now because he hollered at me. He said, hey, bro, my aunt is the shit. Whoop-de-whoop-whoop, this and that. I said, hey, my G, have her holler at me on Instagram. You know what I mean? And this is how we connected right here.
No force.
You know, yeah, this was meant to fucking be. This right here, I swear to God, like if you guys ain't getting this, I'm getting this. This is therapeutic to me.
Let's go.
This is everything that I need to hear because I am still trying to heal myself. I mean, you spoke on some things. I argue with my girls sometimes, you know what I mean, in front of my kids, you know, and it affects the frequency, the vibrations, everything, all the above affects the kids, you know, and there's certain levels of trauma, like you said, you know what I mean, and this could be trauma in their life by us arguing in front of them. And my girls are so crazy because they'll be like, now they tell me, like at first they were just like, oh shit, Dad is mad, Pops is mad, you know,
Right.
they're arguing. And now my girls are crazy, you know what I mean? So I have a 5 and 6 year old and they're like, and so now when they hear me and my girl arguing from us getting shit off our fucking chest, you know what I mean? Because things get crazy sometimes, you know what I mean? Life isn't perfect. Relationships ain't motherfucking perfect, you know? It's straight up, like life is real sometimes, you know what I mean? And sometimes life happens in front of the babies and they ain't got to hear that shit. They shouldn't hear that shit. And people outside looking in, they'll be like, you ain't supposed to be doing that. You're fucking up your kids. But motherfucker, you doing the same motherfucking shit. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
But let's just pause right there real quick. You tell me, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, Lucky. You fucking up your kids. Well, how about you're a big person who was a fucked up kid and ain't processed your own fuck up? So you naturally just pass on what you ain't dealt with to your kids
and
unintentionally.
That's horrible. Yeah, that's horrible.
Forgive yourself. It's unintentionally. We're all going through life just carrying bags from the 70s and 80s and 90s to the old heads out there. And some of the older ones, the 40s, the 50s, and 60s, allow grace. But people say that. They clearly are not on the healing process on their own.
Sasha, let me tell you this. You know what my girls tell me? They're 5 and 6 years old. They're my beautiful little white girls. You know what I mean? They say they come up to me. They say, calm down, big guy. Calm down. They tell me that shit. Yeah. I swear to God. They come up to me. They're like, hey, big guy. They call me big guy. I never told them that. Nobody's ever called me that in front of them.
That's so
and
sweet.
they say, big guy, calm down. Calm down, big guy. It's gonna be okay. Calm down. And I'm like, whoa, what is this? Who told them to tell me this? And what do I do when they went, dude, I'm a fucking grown fucking man.
Is that
you know
right?
I mean?
Is that right?
And I'm wilding out. I think I am, right? You know what I mean? I'm still a boy, you know what I mean? Trapped in this old body, 44 years old, you know what I mean? I think I am. I'm trying to grow into my motherfucking stature, right? But anyways, I have these 5 and 6 year old girls that saying, calm down, big guy. Calm down. It's going to be okay. And every time they tell me this, you know what I do? I calm the fuck down.
I was just gonna say, that's what you do,
Calm
right?
the fuck down.
You be like,
I'm like, dude, I got a 5 and 6 year old girl thing. Calm down, big guy. And I think it's hilarious. I want to laugh. I'm in the heat of the moment with an argument with my girl. I mean, this is life. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to leave my girl. I need to keep my family together. You know what I mean? And sometimes we have these outbursts in front of our kids. They don't need to hear this because this is trauma to them. You know what I mean? And somehow, some way, something put it into my girl's spirit to come and holler at Pops. Calm down, big guy. You need to calm down.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Do you think that your daughters knew what you needed before you did?
Man.
Humbling, right?
Yeah.
It's humbling because we're taught we're the adults, we're the big people, we know better. And the reality is we just got here before them.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a party and the party didn't stop till someone came after? And And you're like, okay, now the party finna start. It's the same thing with our kids. We just got here first. It doesn't mean we know it all. We just got a head start. And our kids, in my belief, come to us to help give us those parts that we know we subconsciously need. But who else do we listen to but our kids? Like you said, calm down, big guy. You're like, okay. You will listen to them. You ain't gonna listen to your mom. You ain't gonna listen to your homeboy. You listen to them. So they already know. They come equipped knowing what you need before you even know. So give thanks.
That's crazy.
It is.
That's crazy.
But this is the expansion I'm talking about. So it's the same thing about the lessons that we go through and the trials we go through. You know, people been locked up. People done lost their house. I done been bankrupt. I done lost a house. You name it, I've had it.
Yeah.
What did it come to show? It didn't come to punish me because I'm Sasha. There's clearly a lesson that I need to get, whether it was at the time money management or, you know, the time on focus, whatever it was. As opposed to being mad at the situation, I want you guys to do this. Legitimately ask the situation, what do you have for me? A situation, what do you have for me? I promise you, you will get the answer. It might come to you if you're still. It might come to you, you might read a book, and you might be like, well, goddamn, I just asked a question. It might come to you in a song. Your homeboy or homegirl or your spouse might call you. Your kid might tell you something, but it is there. This is the way that we stop feeling victimized by life. Asking life, what do you have for me? Because if I'm here, you got something for me. And it don't have to be hard and it don't have to be dramatic. No more hard lessons, right? What do you have for me? And this is the one of the pivotal things. We are so quick to, reacting. Before we react, let's respond. Something happens. What do you have for me? Let's wait for the response. And then we react accordingly. Because if not, all we're doing is reacting off old trauma. Not even new shit. Man, that's why this always happened to me. We didn't even sit in this stuff. We already bringing in stuff from 87. That's all we do. We react off old stuff as opposed to asking, why is this keep happening? Not in judgment, but like committing to just learning who you are. We feel like our life doesn't mean anything because we're not learning anything. We're learning what we're told to be learned, not what we should learn. It's two different things.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So for someone that's watching right now, that is addicted to drugs, they feel like their life isn't worth nothing, they're ready to die, they're living this fucking lifestyle. I mean, how does this individual start with the growth?
First, I have to give a disclaimer as a certified life coach that if anybody feels like they're about to be out or take their own life, immediately, and since this is getting shown to a lot of people, immediately, you have to call for help, right? So I just have to give that disclaimer. But there's been times that I felt like I want to leave. Let's just be honest. And for some people, it might have felt petty. Like, hey, you just want to leave because of A, B, and C? But you don't know the traumatic baggage that one is carrying, which leads them to that, right? And if someone has a drug addiction and you just say put them in treatment, a couple of things have to be asked. Do they want to be treated? And what are they being treated for? We think we're putting people in rehab to treat them for their crack addiction. But why are they addicted to crack? This is the work that has to be done before we put them in treatment. So I would encourage anybody who has an addiction to anything, ask, why do I feel that I need this? Why do I feel that I need this? The answer is there. And it's usually because ever since I saw whoop-de-whoop happen to me when I was 7, it hurt so bad and I just need to cope with it. There you go. Now then where does that emotion show up in other places in your life? So now you feel like you have to cope when a man's yelling at a woman. So every time you see a man yelling at a woman, you feel you got to be defensive. So if a boss is correcting you, you go off on a boss, you lose your job. So now that bruise and damage that you had at 8, 7 means that you can't keep a job because you ain't having no man tell you what to do. Do you understand? With the whole processes of our life usually stem from one incident or a couple, but particularly from one incident that has bruised us. So ask, hey, why am I addicted to this? You're addicted to this because you're coping with that pain from For example, the man beating your mom. And from there on out, you saw your mom was weak. You're not going to be weak. So you do everything that makes you strong. And because you're so strong, you can't keep a man. You can't keep a job. You can't keep a house because you feel like asking for help is weakness. And then it just perpetuates throughout your life. All from watching mama get, beat from somebody.
So should they see a therapist? Should they, I know it starts within.
Sure, no.
But would a therapist help?
So there's a couple things. If you feel like you have an addiction and you want it to reverse it and not be an addict anymore, you can seek treatment at a treatment facility. But before you get to a treatment facility, doing that inner work, a licensed therapist, a certified life coach, or someone who you can trust that is non-biased. That's why it's good to go to therapists. Therapists are really good to deal with if there's anything clinical going on. Unfortunately, legally, in my scope of business, I can't deal with anyone that is like, let's say schizophrenic. I can, but they usually have to be going to a therapist as well. But I'm just as good as a therapist. But you know how the paper goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yes, get with someone that you can ask these questions to. I deal with people who have had cancer, who have been through abuse, who have, have anxiety and depression. I deal with all those people. But the gateway to opening healing is by asking that question. We reach for a drug, or we reach for the casino, or we reach for something because it's when that question comes up and we don't want to deal with it. So we just go do that thing. We do that thing to replace the question that's coming up. It's there. It wants to get out of you. It wants help, but gosh, it don't feel good to deal with it. So I'm just going to, go shop, and I'm a shopaholic. It feels better to shop as opposed to deal with the pain that I have from when my mom got beat by a dude that wasn't my daddy and didn't like me. And then,
we find things to mask the pain, and just to kind of like we talked earlier, putting shit on the back burner.
Yeah.
Not dealing with the initial core of the situation.
And that's why going to treatment, and I know they have courses and therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists in treatment. But if you even begin one and they're not asking you those questions, better yet, if you don't come in with some questions, put them on a hot seat. I've been on crack for 18 years. And I realized that the reason I'm on crack is because I don't want to feel pain. And I realized I don't want to feel pain because I couldn't help my mom when I saw her in her pain. And then I took on her pain, and every relationship I dealt with was pain. So I need to learn, I desire to learn where my pain initiates from and how can I change that. Put them on the hot seat. Don't just have them tell you to read a book, have them tell you to get on these meds. If they're not dealing with the root, tell them to kick rocks. And that's with anybody. Me as a coach, we go back to the root. When did you start doing this? Why did you start doing this? These are the questions that come up within ourselves, but we don't want to deal with it. We don't know how to. So we just, hit the pipe and call it a day. And this is me talking in no judgment, because we all have that vice. Vices are really good, and sometimes they're necessary. But after a while, you'll notice that the vice is not having the same effect on you. You're not as tuned out. You're not as numb. And so eventually you have to deal with it, because in addition to suppressing the emotion, the vice is wearing out your body too.
Absolutely. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
In regards to vices, and yes, please take a drink of that. In regards to vices, what vices have you personally dealt with?
That's a good question. My vice isn't, when I think of vices, I was a time that I was a pretty decent drinker. I would have never said it was because of anything. It's just young, you party, you drink, and you drink, and you drink. But my vice, and even a little bit to this day, is always staying busy. If I'm always doing, and I have a busy house and I have stuff that I have to do, but I'm always doing, because I realize when you don't do is when you have to be. And sometimes being is scary.
That's my vice right now.
Always doing.
Always doing. I'm always moving. I'm always, and sometimes my vice with me always doing always trying to like say, keep the podcast moving. I feel like, how do I say it? My vice is keep on moving, but sometimes when I keep on moving with what I feel I should be doing, I'm neglecting things around me.
So what should you be doing when that comes up? Like, what should you be doing?
I mean, I think social media is a vice. I mean, I think, you know, likes, comments, subscribers, views. I mean, that's a vice in my life right now. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Because sometimes I'm so, I'm trying to get ahead, but sometimes when I feel like I'm trying to get ahead with this podcast and what I'm trying to do right here, what's good for the podcast sometimes might not be good for my household.
I understand. So the root is, or the thing is, why do you feel that you always have to be doing?
Because I feel like I have lost time in my life. I've done X amount of years in prison. I've done X amount of years on the streets, to the street life, you know, and sometimes, so I went to the movies last night. The movies have opened up now. And I was gonna go use the restroom, and we're watching a kid movie with my girl and my daughters, you know, and my girl said, hurry up and come back. She goes, leave your phone, you know? And I said, here, you know what I mean? You know? And she says, I'm just playing, you know, just hurry up and come back, you know? But that's something that obviously is affecting maybe my relationship, you know? Maybe I'm so concentrated and I'm so determined, and maybe I have too much. I'm focusing too much energy on something else that I should make sure that I nourish this energy, my family, my household over here. You know what I mean? So I have to find a way to separate the work life from the family life to make sure that I am taking care of the people around me, you know, so to speak.
So this is good. You feel like you have to do a lot of stuff because you lost time.
Yeah.
And you feel that you've lost time because of choices you made. And
bad choices.
And what emotion comes up with that? What thing? Guilt?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, because I'm reminded about it in my trade that I work in, because I'm 40 some years old. I'm a 5th year apprentice, and I have bosses that are 27 years old. They're 30 years old, and they tell me what to do and how to do it. And now I'm not in my neighborhood, I'm in their neighborhood, which is a workforce, and there is a food chain, you know what I mean? And I was always used to being the big dog on the block, but now I'm not the big dog on the block, I'm the low mat on the totem pole, you know what I mean? So it was a reminder to me in life that, you know what, I need to level up, I need to pick my game up. And so outside of the workforce, I'm trying to do this to make myself a fucking boss, and to hopefully one day provide for my family for something that I love, which is this right here, you know. But sometimes when you feel like, I think when you feel like you're doing something that I mean, maybe I'm being selfish, you know what I mean? Maybe I need to figure out my time and place for fucking everything, you know? And when I need to just shut that fucking phone off, when I need to stop booking fucking artists, when I need to fucking stop trying to holler or reply to people that support this podcast, you know what I mean? You know, and I need to focus on my family, because I can be winning in one way, but I can be losing in the other area, you know what I mean? So this time in my life right now, I'm trying to figure this shit out, and I'm really trying to manage, you know what I mean? Manage this shit, you know what I mean? That I'm not winning in one way, I'm losing in the other, because if I'm losing underneath my roof, then I'm fucking losing fucking everything, because my foundation is fucking everything, you know? And so it's just, sometimes it's just, it's a real, I mean, life is real, right? You know, and the people around you will tell you what it is, especially the people underneath your roof. And if the people underneath your roof aren't happy, then it doesn't matter how much success you have outside of your roof, you know what I mean? It's not gonna add up. And if we're talking about math and science, you know what I mean? It's not gonna be good for us, you know, for me and my family, you know?
I feel you a lot. And a couple things.
I mean,
came
is that
up.
being selfish? You know what I mean? Is that, I mean,
First of all-
because in my mind, I feel like, this is for us. You know what I mean? If I can do this and I can pop this shit off, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? The more successful I am as an individual, it's going to leak over to my kids and everything else. But if I'm neglecting them, you know what I mean, while I'm doing this, then maybe it's a detriment to the bigger picture.
So a couple things came up for me when you're saying that you're doing all this. Is the energy of like, I gotta prove some shit.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like, you know what? Because they always told me that I couldn't do this. I couldn't, you know what I mean? Like I go to work and you are this person. Yeah, you grown man, bro, but you underneath me. I'm 27-year-old cat. Whoop-de-whoop, whoop. You know what I mean? And so I'm trying to prove life wrong. You know what I mean? I'm trying to go against the odds, but at the same time, while I'm doing this, maybe I'm taking from this. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's complicated.
This is so good. So you always feel like you got to prove something.
Yeah.
When did you start feeling like you had to prove shit?
I mean,
Like,
I felt like that all my life, to be honest with you.
Okay, boom. So where you felt that way for a long time? Like where do you? We can't go in a full session right now, but we're going somewhere with this. So like around when is the first time you felt you had to prove some stuff?
5 years old.
Let's talk about it if it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
5 years old. You know what I mean? I was, I was kind of like shitted on as a kid. You know what I mean? I was in the middle of a divorce. I was the only son. I had siblings that were sisters. You know what I mean? My mom looked at me, and when she looked at me, she looked at my father that she fucking hated with all her motherfucking guts. You know what I mean? When we get dropped off at school, my sisters would get kisses, and and then she would look back at me, and she'd be like, "Get about, go to school, fool." You know what I mean? And so I always felt like I was less of an individual. I wasn't worthy. There was no unconditional love, like no matter what, you know what I mean? I still love you. I got you. Let me give you a hug. Let me give you a kiss. You know what I mean? So to this day, I still fight with a certain past upbringing, so to speak. You know what I mean?
This is good. This is good.
And to this day, like I feel pain. Like I had my boy Rudy Vargas on here, youngster on here, the other day, and I sat here and I felt his fucking pain, and I've known him for so many fucking 30 damn near 30 years, you know what I mean? And to hear him tell a story when I went home and shit, I felt very emotional, you know what I mean? To hear his story, because when I heard his story, I felt his fucking pain, you know what I mean? And his pain coincided with mine, you know what I mean? You know, I felt his. It's hard. I mean, it's hard for me to talk because I've never been in you know what I mean? Anyways, yeah.
Welcome to session.
Yeah.
But you see how it's therapeutic. So starting at age 5, you felt, and shout out for Lucky for being this vulnerable, because vulnerability is a freaking superpower. But start at age 5, you felt like you had to prove something. That's a long time. That's almost 40 years of walking around.
I just wanted to be loved.
You
know
just
what I mean?
wanted to be loved.
I wanted
and you
to be
felt
loved.
that perhaps.
I mean, at night I would have. I always felt like there was fucking. I would have the worst fucking nightmares. You know what I mean? I would feel like there was roaches underneath my fucking bed because my room was a dining room. You know what I mean? Which is the front window of the fucking house and shit. And my sisters were. There was a 2-bedroom place, and my sisters were in one room. My mom was in another room, and I always wanted to. When I had these nightmares, I remember I would jump off my bed because there was roaches underneath my bed. They were trying to get me or something. I don't know. There were spiders. I was scared. I was a kid, you know what I mean? And I go to my room, but I go to my mom's room, but I'd have to hide myself in a corner of her room, because if she knew I was in her room, she would tell me to get out of her room, opposed to my sisters. They were able to get in her fucking bed and shit, you know what I mean? But I guess I have childhood trauma that affects me to this day, and I'm transparent about this because I need to be transparent about this, because maybe some people can relate to this, you know what I mean? But I can't be on this podcast without me being transparent and me being 1,000% about this shit, you know what I mean? Even though sometimes it may make me look like less of a fucking man, you know, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm less of a fucking man. I don't know. I'm still trying to grow into this fucking body that I'm in right now, you know? It feels like I'm still trying to, I'm climbing that mountain, you know what I mean?
I can't celebrate you enough right now. But I want to sprinkle some healing on this stuff right now. So your mom didn't show you love because you were like dad.
Yeah.
And you were the only one around that she could project that onto.
She seen me and she seen him. I knew that since a kid. I mean, she seen me and she used to tell me, she voiced it to me. She said, you look like she goes, you look like just your fucking dad. Get the fuck out of my fucking face. I mean, I will never forget this to this day, you know what I mean? And it affected me, you know what I mean? But go ahead, I'm sorry.
So your mom's, and we have the title of mom, you have the title of dad. But when we take the title off, that's just a hurt woman. She a misunderstood hurt woman. And if I was a gambling woman, I would easily say that the same type of shit she grew up seeing too, where her pops or a grandpa or uncle or something like that. So with her, she didn't have anybody around to project her pain on, as opposed to reflecting on the pain, she projected it on you. So before, in order to facilitate some healing within you, just realize, you know what, my mom was just hurt. She was hurt, damaged.
You know what? I'm not mad at her.
Right.
I'm not mad at her. I hold a little resentment, but I'm not 100% mad at her because I'm going to be 1,000%. I mean, she was brought into this world by force. And that's the realest shit. I mean, I can't believe this is the first time I say this shit, but she was brought into this world by force. So her trauma was put upon me. Her heaviness, this weight of knowing that she was brought into this world was put on me, and I'm trying to break this fucking cycle, you know what I mean, with my kids, you know what I mean. I don't know how good of a job I'm doing, you know. I don't know. I'm trying to like, you know, sometimes you're trying to heal everybody else but yourself, you know. Maybe sometimes I try to do that instead of focusing on my inner spirit, but I've been trying to work on that shit, you know? I really been trying to work on that shit because I know if I'm good, then everybody's around me good. And just because if you're good financially, you know what I mean, doesn't mean you're good emotionally, spiritually. We talk about vibrations, you know what I mean? I can be good, the bills are paid, we good, my G, you know what I mean? I fucking put myself through school, whoop-de-whoop-whoop. But if the inner motherfucking shit ain't right, then it ain't right, you know what I mean? I've spoken a million times that I had to fucking reconstruct my thought process because my thought process was fucked up. You know what I mean? And this is still like an ongoing construction site, so to speak. Me, my inner thing. You know? If you stepped into my inner soul, my inner spirit, it is a construction site. The house is not built yet. You know, it's framing. We got some drywall up, you know, we got the electrical ran, the plumbing is there, you know what I mean? But it's not done yet, you know? And I think that a lot of people can relate to being a construction site still. It's the finished product is not there. And I hope one day my finished product is there. But the only way my finished product is going to be there is by having podcasts like this with fucking beautiful fucking spirits like yourself, you know what I mean?
I received that a lot. Thank you. And thank you for being so vulnerable to share that about your mom, which was in alignment with what I was saying. You took on the relationship that was programmed into her about men. So understand that.
Yeah.
She was brought into life by force.
She's a female chauvinist. You know what I mean? Straight up, dude.
Totally.
Dude,
Makes sense.
she got a dude right now. I'm not even in contact with her, you know what I mean? But she has a dude right now. He's a great dude, you know what I mean? But I'm going to tell you like this right now. She runs the show, and if she says get down on all four and bark like a dog, this dude's going to bark like a motherfucking dog, you know what I mean? But from my past trauma and shit, I'm like, motherfucker, get the fuck up.
Right.
Well, you barking like a dog, you know what I mean? But this is something that's been ingrained in me, and that's been, we're wired up a certain way, right? We're wired up a certain way, and my wiring is defected wiring. You know what I mean? You know, the way I was wired up is fucked up. So to this day, I'm still trying to configure this software right here, right?
So it's really about the wiring isn't messed up. It's just plugged in the wrong places. That's all. So if you have like this here, and you had this cord plugged over here and that one plugged over there, the cords are good. Just ain't plugged in the right place, right? Yeah. So you have to go in and look at it first. That's exactly what we're doing now. Look at it like, So this is good hardware. It's just not plugged up right. So let me switch some things around. Let me switch some things around. Let me switch some things around so it can work. So I can work the way it was designed, the way I was designed. You see what I'm saying? So what we're doing now is recognizing that your mom appears to be acting big and bold because she don't want to deal with her ish. And I can't imagine what it's like to be brought into this world by force. So I want to recognize the pain that your mom might be going through. But you were the only constant person around that she could put that ish on. Right?
Yeah.
And so she's coming at you. She doesn't even see you as son at this point. She just sees you as that dude, her dad, or whoever it is, your dad. That's all you are. You are a representation of the hurt that mom has not recognized or dealt with. So I want you to understand that. So when you see that, like, I'm not the source of my mom's pain. I'm just a reflection of the pain that she's not dealing with.
And I think a lot of the audience right here are reflections of pain we had nothing to do with. So for us that are products of our environment, so to speak, reflections of pain that we were brought into this world with that we had no way control of, how do we fix that?
Exactly. Doing exactly what we're doing right now. So we see that where your mom's coming from. So the emotion, the prevalent emotion, like you said, of resentment that you had of her, you love her because she's in you. But that emotion of resentment could live in our liver and cause a sluggish liver. It can cause liver failure. So we have to know from an energetic standpoint, resentment can cause liver problems and it can cause cancer. So this is important that we're talking about this. So understand, my mom was not hurting me. I'm going to take that wire out. My mom wasn't mad at me. She was mad at the cats that represent me, which is men. So I'm going to unplug that and plug that in here. Dang. Now that helps me see it from an outside situation. I'm not taking away from the pain you felt because it's there. But the minute we can start to unplug from what we experience and understand why it manifested that way, it doesn't make us feel so like victimized. Like, okay, my mom is really kind of hurt because she ain't dealt with her shit and I was in the way. It was like I got hit by the stray bullet type thing. Yeah. It still hurts, but I know it wasn't intended for me. It don't really take away the pain, but I know that it wasn't intended for me. So how can I heal? Just like you go in a hospital, you got a bullet wound, you heal, they treat it, they wrap it up. How can I wrap this around my head? I could sprinkle some love on it. I could put forgiveness on my mom. I forgive her for really not dealing with herself and just put it on me because I was the closest person to a man that was around her. When I could allow her that freedom, now I can go in, wow, everything that I did that I had to prove myself to, I could put some love on it. I was only now proving myself from the lack of love and understanding I had from mom. Because it wasn't that mom could verbalize what she was doing. To this day, she might not be able to say, I'm sorry, son, I was only doing that because all the trauma that men caused me, and I internalized that, so I wasn't going to take no shit from no man, including you. Because you were a man, not because you were my son. You like, oh, she might not ever say that. So I'm saying it for her. That's really what it breaks down to. Now you could be like, everything that I've done with the energy of having to prove, I realize that my existence is left and I don't have to prove anything. My boss might be 27 and I'm 44. This is my time. That was their time. And the time I did brought me to here so I can have this realization that mom's pain and the pain from mom's pain stops now because she didn't do it to me. So this experience helped grow me. What can you get from this experience? All the stuff that you went through, the times you were locked up, what did that teach you about yourself?
I mean, that taught me that I can get through anything. Mm-hmm. That taught me that
resiliency.
Yeah. That taught me that, you know what, nothing can break me. Mm-hmm. I've stayed solid on the yards. I'm to this day. My name is fucking good. You know what I mean? I've stood strong through some waves that usually would knock down the biggest person. I've stood solid. And a lot of people have been knocked down by these waves. It gave me. I fed off that vibration instead of, even though it's broken me down at times, at my worst time, I've stood strong just because, I mean, I felt like I had something to prove, and I felt like this isn't going to take me down. You know what I mean? I will overcome this, and I will be bigger and better. And when my day shines, I will shine like the brightest star in the sky. You know what I mean? I feel like that about myself. Like I'm gonna shine like the brightest star in the sky. You know what I mean? What do we all want to do? We want to shine bright. We want to be recognized. We want to be. We want appreciation. You know, for who we are and what we're doing. And I feel like I get this sometimes on this podcast, you know what I mean? Because I give people with no voice a voice to tell their story and you know what I mean? And so when they feel good, like YG felt amazing after the podcast, he felt good, but if he felt good, man, I felt fucking amazing. Why? Because I was able to have this platform to do this for this individual that is hurting, and his hurt is my hurt one way or another. I mean, I don't know.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
So the textbook was mom's. Open up the textbook. And just like in all textbooks, there's chapters. And at the end of every chapter, there's a review. And at the end of every review, there's a fucking test. So the beautiful thing about every book is to review the lesson. What did I get from mom? Dang, I learned that I was resilient. I learned that I'm strong. I learned that if I set a goal, I can do it. I learned that a lot of women internalize stuff. And if there's a man around, they're going to put it out. You know, they're going to put it out on that man. I'm literally take an inventory of everything that you have learned and then asked, maybe I could have got this in another way, but I received the lessons in that way, and I'm I'm grateful because you cannot build a business without being resilient. You cannot build a business without being strong. You cannot build a business without realizing your triggers. You cannot build a business without commitment. All those things that you've learned from dealing with your mom. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
So when you think about it like that, you're like, thank you. Thank you. The only time we start seeing lessons as bad is when we compare them to somebody else.
So it's all about turning the negative into a positive.
It's called transmutation. Literally taking it and doing like this, or alchemy, where a diamond is a coal and then it has to go through a process in order to be a diamond. What's that stuff in our cell phone? Lithium?
Yeah.
You see those
battery.
Poor, beautiful black children in Africa mining and digging up all the soil to get the lithium from the soil to make our smartphones smart. It's not just, oh, here's lithium. It's a process that it has to go through. So your lesson, your textbook was called Mom. And when you didn't understand the lesson, you walked through life trying to prove something. Now you realize the only thing I got to prove to myself is that I came equipped. Mom taught me a lesson. As opposed to separating my family through my business, I'm going to learn to integrate. Separation is a hard word to go through. Integration is it. You can't have a solid business without having a solid foundation within here, because that's when you find yourself going crazy. So taking out the energy, I have something to prove so I can be loved. How can you turn that around? I don't have anything to prove to be loved. I'm going in business with the attitude of fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Fill in the blank. I don't have anything to prove. I've already got it all. I've already showed myself. Now I just got to listen, because the hustle takes you away from the message. I got to listen. I got to just sit still for a minute and hear that divine idea, that divine direction to go, and then go. I don't have anything to prove. The key to all this is you've already done the groundwork. It's already done. As humans, we come here, it's already done. We just got to learn to tap in to figure out how to walk the yellow brick road. What you want wants you. It's already there. You don't have to build it. It's already there. Our job is just to walk it. So Mom gave you a deep, deep lesson in self-reliance, in resiliency, in strength, in understanding. Why do you think your mom had 2 girls? You have 2 girls. Don't you think that there's a reconciling in that has to come through? The way I saw my mom favor the girls, I'm going to favor my girls from a space of love and wholeness and understanding. I understand them better now, and I don't want them to hurt, and I'm going to teach them about strength and love within themselves, because when they don't have it, they can turn out like Mom. So you learn from the best person to teach your girls about the strength of a woman. And et cetera, Does that resonate at all?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, to this day, as a father and having girls and being, I mean, at one point I was a womanizer. You know, I was a womanizer. You know, I was just I looked at females as a piece of meat. You know, I didn't care what was going on in their head. I cared about what was how they were looking on the outside.
Well, you were searching for that love and affection that you didn't get from mom. You didn't know it, but that's what you were searching for. Women are supposed to give love, and I didn't feel it from her, so God damn it, I'm going to feel it. And so you just kept going through the sea of women to fill that void on the outside. We've been playing the outside end game. That's what we're programmed to do. Seek from outside. I'm going to get 18 degrees. I'm going to get 18 hoes. I'm going to get 18 houses, and maybe that'll make me feel better. But after the women leave and the houses sell and the degrees are now worth nothing, right? Not all of them. I'm just saying in general, you're still there with that pain. So you have to be able to sit there and look at the grand scheme, taking yourself out of the mode of being a victim and like, okay, why did all this happen? Because believe it or not, Lucky, you wouldn't have learned what you learned any other way. Your lessons are hard then, but they don't have to be hard now, because right now in this moment, you've come to a realization. So you don't have to go through hard lessons anymore. Let that shit stay where it was. You can't make mom heal, but you can make yourself heal.
Absolutely.
Just by understanding where mom was coming from. That applause. It just gets me every time.
It's much needed.
Yeah.
It's much
So
needed.
you'll be able to forgive your mom and have a little bit more grace on her, because you're like, dang, what she went through, she didn't know no better, but I got it. So what you're doing now, Lucky, is you're breaking the chains. There's a saying that's called generational curses, and you're breaking the curses. And that's what you're doing. Because I don't know if you have sons.
Yeah, I have sons. And I mean, but I had sons just living on the streets, that gangbang life. You know what I mean? Just like I was saying, I was womanizing. I mean, along the road, I heard a lot of females. I heard a lot of females, and I'm not happy about that.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
let's put some love on it. You hurt women because you didn't intentionally say, I'm going to hurt you. When you saw a pretty woman, you're like, I'm going to hurt you good. I'm sure you didn't do that, did
No,
you?
I was like, I'm going to stick my dick in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's going to be a good time. We're going to get high. You going to get high. You know what I mean? We're going to fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I'm going to feel good. And the pursuit in women was to?
The pursuit in women was to satisfy my need at the time.
Satisfy your need that you probably hadn't experienced from that main woman.
It sounds fucked up.
No. But when we just say it like that, I was doing that because inherently I know I wanted that love and affection from the main woman who didn't give it to me. So I'm going to search that through everybody else. You didn't intentionally hurt them. You were just seeking parts of yourself in other women. So now you're able to forgive yourself because, like, dang, I was hurt and I was just trying to get healed. You were looking for healing in women, disguising we just going to have a good time. That's all you were doing.
And this has been
And I'm not saying that's all the girls watching like, no, that's not all he did. What I'm saying, no, he did what he did. I understand that. But understanding where he came from a subconscious programming. I want to find that love I wasn't getting from the main one. So I'm going to look in different faces and different places.
And so to this day, I had to, and I spoke on this many times, I had to correct my thought process. When I see a beautiful female, like, we'll just say like yourself, you know what I mean? And I mean this with absolute respect.
Of course.
You know what I mean? You are here not because of how you look on the outside, for what you have in here in your inside. You know what I mean? Like, when I see a female, she might be attractive, but now I don't look at the female, like you will acknowledge in your head, like, okay, she's attractive, you know what I mean? But it ends right there for me now, you know? Why? Because this has been a part of me fixing myself as a human being, and acknowledging that I have a woman at home that is just as attractive, you know what I mean? That is bomb as fuck, you know what I mean? That's my girl, and now I am a very, very faithful individual, because I don't want to hurt no more. I don't want to hurt nobody else. You know what I mean?
You don't want to hurt yourself.
I mean, when you're
anymore.
hurting inside, what do you do? You hurt everybody else around you.
Exactly like with your mama.
Yeah.
So the energy behind always having to prove something is because even your mom felt that she had to prove that no man could mess with her. So she gonna drag them all through the dirt, including her son.
Yeah.
It superseded the fact that she came from you. Her hurt superseded the needs of her son. And that's what hurt people do. You have that firsthand experience, don't you?
Yeah.
The pain that you were feeling superseded the women that you were dealing with. It wasn't intentional. It's just that we become one track. I want to feel loved. I want to feel loved, not knowing that the love was already in you. So now hopefully you can forgive yourself for that because you weren't doing it out of intention. And now you got 2 girls.
Exactly.
And now you could understand the women. You could understand the pain and maybe why the women let you in too, because you were seeking love. And what were they seeking? Validation, attention. Maybe they were seeking a conquest. Who knows? But there's lessons in every interaction, including the ones from our parents and our grandparents and our grandparents. So now you could sprinkle some love on your situation like, dang, I was a womanizer, but it was only because I was seeking the love that was already in myself and I didn't get it from my mom because my mom was hurt from men that looked like me. So she just put it out on me in order to make herself feel better and the shit didn't work. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm here and now I break the chain so my daughters can go and have a good love.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And my woman now at home could have a good love and a better understanding of where I was coming from.
I mean, they say sometimes that God, for like womanizers, past womanizers like myself, because I'm not that no more, you know, they say that God gives motherfuckers like me girls, you know, to
shout out to my husband who got just girls. Yeah.
Was your husband a womanizer?
He says he wasn't. Now I got to do some investigating. No, but I have a theory. Anything that happened before we met, I don't care about. And that's real. I told him as long as you didn't kill nobody or give anybody any black eyes and stuff that I'd have to be concerned about, because we all have a past. I'm older than him, so I got a past, right?
How much older are you than your husband?
Like 5.5 years.
That's
not too bad. No,
not
too bad.
I'm 8 years older than my girl.
Yeah, so not too bad.
Shout out to your husband. What's your husband's name?
Will.
What up, Will? I know you're watching right now,
He
my
is.
G.
He is.
Shout out to Will, man.
With a big smile.
Hey, Will, you could have came through, my G, and posted up with us, you know what I mean? But thank you for being a secure individual to let your girl go through with her homegirl right here. Who's the homegirl right here?
Come through. This is my girl. Shout out for a little people break. This is my dear friend Kiana. We've been friends since we've been about 3 years old. Real talk.
Oh my God, that's dope.
Both of our parents were in the military. Her dad is from Grenada. My dad's from Panama, and they met in the Navy, and we just grew up around each other, and we've been like road dogs. Her and my daughter got the same birthday, so it's all this wonderful synergy. And I was like, come with me. She's like, yeah. So
absolutely,
all good. It's all love.
Absolutely. So check it out. I want to do something right now.
Yeah.
I want to do something right now. I want to have somebody on this podcast right now that we are gonna just kind of like tap into the mental state. You know what I mean? Can we get Diaper Boy right here? Where's Diaper Boy at?
Diaper Boy. Diaper Boy.
Diaper Boy.
He's asleep.
He's asleep. Diaper Boy. Get on that hot seat, baby.
Where the hot seat at?
The hot seat.
Oh, that's
right
the
there.
hot seat.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
the hot
okay.
seat. We're gonna put him on the hot seat real quick.
Okay, let's do it. Diaper Boy. Diaper Boy.
We're gonna put him on the hot seat right here.
He's like, man, I don't like you no more.
Let's tap into something real quick.
Yeah, let's tap in. Yeah. And I do hope that was helpful. We could talk off air.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was good. I mean, I appreciate that. I mean,
Always.
if this ain't good for you guys, this is good for me, baby.
That's right. And you deserve it.
Hey.
And you deserve it.
I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna regret talking about this.
No, you
know?
won't.
I hope not.
Nah, you
know,
won't.
because sometimes I think about the shit that I say, and I'm like, dude, am I gonna regret saying that? Of being too, as we say in this modern age, being 100 about this shit, you know. But anyways,
but if it's helping you and it's healing you, then no regrets.
Okay.
No regrets.
Diaper Boy, that's Diaper Boy right
That
there.
is. Hey, Diaper Boy.
What's up, my G?
Not much, man.
How you doing, dog?
Pretty good.
So you didn't know about this, bro. You know what I mean? You didn't know that we were gonna put you on this hot seat right here. You know what I mean? But I wanted to tap in with you, bro, because you know what? I'm worried about you sometimes, bro. I'm worried about you, dog. You know what I mean? So he's been going through a hard breakup.
Okay.
Are you over it now?
Not really. Got my,
Good.
get into messes,
Well, so this dude has been like, people have been calling me. They've been messaging me saying we're worried about Diaper Boy. We think he's suicidal. He's going through a hard breakup. You know what I mean? And when it comes to a dude like me, I'm just like, dude, this dude was, to my understanding, you were in this relationship for only 3 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She must have had some bomb, you know what? You know what I mean? For you to be feeling like this, or either that, you know what I mean? Your game is weak, my G. You know what I mean? Your game is weak, my boy. You can't keep it pushing to move on to the next, because you know the best thing that they say about a relationship is the rebound. You know, I gotta find that rebound and pop out. You know what I mean? You back on top. You know what I mean? But for some reason, your rebound game is very from a dude like me is weak. You know what I mean? You putting all this shit on social media, all this lover shit. I mean, this dude is projecting an energy that are making people holler at me about him, that are worried about his mental state. How do we start this? How do we do this? This is first right here. You know what I mean?
No, this is good. First of all, Diaper Boy, it's okay to feel. Feel how you feel, dude. It's okay to be in the feels, because you can't get past the feels until you stay in the feels. But let me ask you, how the feels making you feel? What are you feeling?
Let's see.
Take your time.
A lot of anxiety.
Yeah. Yep. Remember we were talking about earlier, anxieties about worrying about the future, right? We always thinking ahead, because when you just like sit still and think like, dang, I'm here on set with some cool ass people, I'm good. But we thinking ahead, dang, what is she doing right now? Dang, what am I going to do after this? Are those the type of stuff that you think about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because last year during August, I was going through the same thing, but except I was going through a relationship that I was physically and mentally abused.
Okay.
And through that, I suffered through PTSD, SAD, and MMA-D too.
Okay.
So
I recognize you, I see you, and I'm sending a lot of love, because all those things are very real. Just really quick, they like to say PTSD is just for war and, just all that. But post-traumatic stress is the stress, the worry, the anxiety you feel after it has happened. And it is anything. It don't have to be war. It don't have to be living in the hood. It can be the stress from a breakup, from a car accident, from a pet dying. All of that is scientifically proven and legitimately PTSD based on how we absorb things. So I just want to recognize you and honor you for where you are. With this relationship breaking up, what does it make you feel about yourself?
Like excluding myself from everybody. I like to isolate myself and just to keep to my thoughts.
So if you exclude yourself from everybody, what would being around people do? What would being around people say about you? Is there something you're avoiding being around people?
There's nothing I'm really avoiding. It's just it's pretty much I'm almost feeling claustrophobic,
When you're around people.
Yeah.
And it's because you have a lot of emotion and stuff going on inside. And have you been through pretty harsh breakups before?
Yeah.
What's the one variable? What's the one same thing? What's the one continuum in your relationships that have ended this way?
Physical abuse.
Physical abuse, meaning the women, and I'm not trying to be funny, is women or a man relationship?
Women.
Okay, so it means that the women have put their hands on you.
Worse than that.
Okay. Yeah, you can get it, we can talk offline or whatever. Yeah. So that's the one variable. In talking with Lucky about his mom, did anything resonate about maybe what those women were coming from? Do you know of any of their backstory?
Not really.
Okay. What's your backstory with women? How's your relationship with mom or the woman figure, the big mama figures in your life?
Well, Honestly, I'd rather be pretty much honest. I'm my
Yes.
mama's boy, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Okay. That's good.
yeah.
Yeah. And your mama's boy, what's her expectancy of you? Or do you feel that you're ever trying to prove or live up to anything with mom?
Oh, no, nothing.
Okay. Okay, good. So did your mom, just asking, because we're just going through a session, did your mom ever put hands on you?
No.
Okay. So why, and I'm asking you this, what is it in you that has allowed you to tolerate someone violating your physical space? How are you with your physical space with yourself? You do some crazy shit on the show.
Yeah.
So what is your mindset behind the crazy shit you do on the show physically? Because some of the stuff can harm you physically, correct? All right. So let's talk about that. We'll talk about some of the stuff you do, like why you do it.
Distracting. Like, distract me from doing, some like something stupid, like actually like hurting myself.
So doing the something stupid is distracting you from doing something stupid.
Pretty much.
So you're actually doing the thing that you're trying to distract yourself from. And so when you allow yourself to harm yourself, to distract yourself from yourself, you attract women who want to harm you, that potentially want to distract themselves from the pain that they're going through too. The women that can come in, because I'm a firm believer of abuse goes both ways. I'm not, just men could beat on women. No, women could beat on men too. What's the mindset behind why you do the crazy stuff you do on the show? What's your motivation?
My motivation?
Behind the stunts and the stuff?
Honestly, the person that motivated me was her.
She motivated you to do stuff to potentially hurt yourself.
Not hurt myself, but just, make people laugh. Make people laugh, make people smile,
Were you? I mean, you. I'm sorry to
No.
interject, but so one thing about Diaper Boy said that. So when he first came here, he was just like, you know what, I'm down to do this, I'm down to do that. I've done all this crazy shit, but what really attracted me to him is I said, and I wasn't like, I wasn't. How do you say it? I wasn't fucking. When he was telling me about all this crazy shit that he does off the show, before the show, you know what I mean? What attracted me to him in regards to his story, in other words, he's a very intellectual dude. Okay. In school, he was a nerd. He was the nerd in school. I mean, did you get bullied in school?
Oh, no.
No? No. You didn't get bullied in school, but you were looked at as a nerd, right?
Yeah.
You were looked at as a nerd. You were looked at not worthy, correct?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. He was looked at not worthy. And so he was the dude that graduated from high school with fucking probably honors. Did you graduate with honors?
Pretty much you can see that.
Yeah, he graduated with honors, right? This is a smart
Thank
dude.
you for the backstory.
Yeah, and then outside of high school, like you ever hear about girls that were in high school and they were fucking nerds, and all of a sudden you go to a fucking reunion, class reunion, and all of a sudden she's got breast implants, she's got all this shit, and she's a porn star. This
Like left.
He's the
He's that guy.
He's the opposite of that. He's
right.
that guy.
So there's a piece. Thank you for that backstory.
Yeah.
Because I know Diaper Boy's like, I ain't telling this strange ass black woman to walk in here all this stuff. So know that it's all with love.
Absolutely.
So thank you for the backstory.
Yeah.
So there is, once again, that energy of I'm smart, I'm intelligent, but I also can be liked too. Because we like to segment people. If you're a nerd, even though you didn't get bullied, if you're a nerd, you're over here.
Acceptance.
Have you ever accepted all the amazing parts of you? Like Diaper Boy, you can be graduate with honors and still not have to put up with people's bullcrap. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Have you accepted all the parts of you?
Yeah, I have.
You have.
Mm-hmm.
So where does the physical abuse from other women come into play for someone who's accepted themselves?
I think because they never been with someone like myself. I don't know. Just putting it out there, you know.
Do you need to be loved? Do you have a lack of love, bro?
Yeah.
Do you have a lack of love?
It's just a lot I've been through
Okay.
ever since I was like 21.
Oh, okay. That's good. Let's talk more. I don't know if we can, but a little bit. How do you feel? I'm trying to do this for brevity. What you've been through from 21. What kind of perspective does it has on your life now? What happened at 21 that makes you feel it's okay to feel pain all the time?
No, it was just, how much you could say, like, when I was 21, long story short, I was with this girl, we were like best friends for like years.
Okay.
And, we ended up having a kid together.
Okay.
And she kept the kid under wraps for like 10 months. And pretty much later on, she told me the kid wasn't mine. You know, that first day that kid was born, my friends, all of us, we went to the tattoo shop and got his name tattooed across my arm. And when I found out that kid wasn't mine, oh yeah.
I'm sorry for that.
So your nut isn't good enough. No, I'm sorry.
No, no, we can
I'm
go.
actually pretty much sterile.
You're sterile?
Yeah.
What do you mean by sterile? Like you can't?
I skipped a generation. Yeah.
Wait, say that again.
I skipped a generation.
Meaning?
Like my uncle's sterile, so you know.
Anybody that says they're sterile be the ones that make babies. Let me just put that out there right there. I can't have no baby.
Blinks.
Then they end up having babies. Well, here it goes. There's so much pain around the misconception or the lie that you were this baby's father. And then to find out, validated, that you're not the father. How does that make you feel about your manhood? And if I don't feel like I'm a man, I could have any old woman throw hands at me because I'm not a man anyways because I can't make a baby.
Do you get beat by females? Are you in abusive relationships where you're getting beat?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm always getting beat
Yeah,
on, man.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, dude.
But herein lies the challenge.
I mean,
If his manhood, our society says our manhood is in our sperm count. He thought a baby was his at 21. Come to find out after almost a year, the baby's not his.
Yeah.
So what does that make him feel about his manhood? If I'm not a man, I can get beat like how women are supposed to get beat because I'm not a man anyways. That's a lot of the subconscious programming that's coming up in him taking abuse not from one woman, just multiple women.
How many times have you called the cops on a female?
I lost count.
Oh, he's a cop caller. He's a fucking punk ass cop caller, bro.
Hey, dude, when you have a girl coming at you with some scissors or her car,
You call the cops?
dude,
You're a cop caller.
I ran, dude. I was running from her and she was trying to run me over with her fucking car and I got hit by her car, dude.
I can't believe this
So
shit, bro.
I'm suppressing the cracking up, the jokes right now. But seriously, think about that. Someone who is not secure in their existence or in their
What am I
manhood.
supposed to do, dude? Seriously.
No.
Not call the cops, you fucking fag.
No, let's talk
I'm not
about
a cigarette.
let's talk about why this would be tolerated more than one time. For
Is
real.
it all right for dudes to call the cops?
It's all right for anybody to call the cops if they feel that their life is in danger. I mean, that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
that's what he did. That goes. But there it is right there. Men don't call the cops. They handle that. They beat the bitch's ass. They do whatever they're supposed to do.
Not
But
supposed to put hands on one, period.
I agree. But I'm saying that's the conversation that's had with men in general. You call the cops on her. You don't call the cops on her. You're supposed to handle her. You're supposed to do all this and that. And you didn't. But my biggest concern is the creating the habit of women threatening you physically. So how do you feel about yourself as a man?
Besides calling the cops on females.
And it's not like an immediate answer is needed. Really want you to ask yourself, how do I feel about myself as a man? I'm not talking about your manhood, like, do I like men? Do I like women? No. How do you feel about yourself as a man? Remember, this is the same man that at 21 was told that he was a daddy. Oops, you're not a daddy. I'm sterile. So that subconsciously could affect a man. If I can't make a baby, what kind of man am I?
You know what? Let me apologize right now because I see the chat line talking shit to me or saying that I'm fucking being an asshole to this dude while he's trying to open up. You know what I mean? And I apologize about that. I mean, this segment is to uplift him, not put him down in the dirt. So I apologize to you, my G. You know what I mean? Even though deep down I frown upon you for calling the cops on a female, which I have never done. I've been abused a couple times. But anyways,
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
Yeah, don't listen to me.
We
Don't
all
listen to me.
different and process stuff different.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? But how can Diaper Boy deal with his depression and what he's been through?
From just what I'm hearing, and I know we're really trying to just graze the surface from what I'm hearing, it
Yeah,
all
we're just
it all stems from
this is deep.
No.
He needs you.
Yeah.
He needs Jesus. He needs you. He needs everything else.
it's a whole legion of us that can get in Diaper Boy's ass. He's been sitting in his shit, no pun intended, for a long time. Take that damn diaper off, son. But for real, just from what I'm hearing, it really comes down to the trauma he felt from not being the father. Like Maury says, you are the father. He was not the father. And I think that plays a huge part in how he sees himself as a man, thus taking the abuse. Women, man, not even said it, but energetically, you ain't no man anyways. So you take that.
So is that why he puts a diaper on?
And I'm a boy.
These are the questions that he has to answer. This is just me being in coach mode, right?
Absolutely.
These are the things I want him to sit by, and sit with. How do you see yourself as a man? Is your manhood defined in making a child, in shooting blanks, as you said? What defines his manhood? What is a man to you? Because once he defines that within himself, then the only woman that can come to him are the women that want a man. Freaking applause, I swear. I freaking swear.
How does this dude deal with his depression? I mean, I know I just asked you
No,
that,
this
and
is
you
good.
spoke a little bit on it. But like, because I'm worried about this dude, man.
Thank you so much for caring.
I wretchedly am. As much as I talk shit and I clown, that's just my way of saying that I'm worried about you, and that's just like that's a part of my psyche that's fucked up. That I understand it. I look in the mirror. I realize that sometimes I say shit that's fucked up. And sometimes life, you hear shit that's fucked up. But how do you deal with shit that's fucked up? How can this dude deal with shit that's fucked up?
Yeah.
How can
I
he-
know you care.
I
know
do
you
care.
And
I
he
do
knows
care.
that you care too. So remember we talked about anxiety means when you think a lot in the future. Depression means when you think and sit a lot in the past.
Yeah.
When you look at the word depressed, it literally means under pressure. And you can't really be under pressure for anything that hasn't happened yet. So one of the main things that Diaper Boy has to do is really deal with his past and understand that his manhood is not defined. This is just my take. His manhood is not defined by his ability to make babies. A lot of men's manhood is defined by how much of their offspring they have in the world. And when that has defined you and then you cannot do that thing, you walk around questioning yourself, your strength, your capabilities. What's the sense being a nerd anyways if I can't, hold down the fort? If I can't. So you attract women who are questioning themselves too. I've been in relationships, and this doesn't mean yay or nay, but I couldn't even ever imagine in a healthy relationship putting hands on a man. Because off the rip, I'm like, this dude can knock me out. My mom always told me, don't play fight. Don't play fight with no man because he's stronger than you. And my mom's a strong woman, but she always told me that. So these are women who have crossed the boundaries of rationale and think that it's okay to put hands on a dude. He's a pretty tall dude, it seems. To put hands on a dude that a lot of times is shorter than him.
But I mean, if I'm a female and I got this dude in front of me that's trying to be a man, but he's got a diaper on.
Well, here's the thing, Lucky. Exactly. Why does a man refer to himself as a boy in diapers?
Why?
That's a good question.
I ask good question.
So yeah, you do. And you know what? So he got at me and he said, hey, check it out, Luck. I'm willing to do this, that, and this. I want to be the next fucking jackass. I want to be the next Johnny Knoxville. I want to be famous, you know? And I said, my G, you know what I mean? I'm gonna try to give you that opportunity, that dream, that validation of a life that you are worthy. You know what I mean? Because in life, we want validation that we king, we God. You know what I mean? We are worthy. Yes. We can. You know. And so he reached out to me and I said, bro, if you're willing to do this and that and whoop, then bro, let's get you on and let's just make this shit pop. And if people fuck with it, they fuck with it. But it's been crazy because people have been on my neck. They've been on my neck. They said, bro, why you let him eat a fucking shit sandwich? I said,
We got to talk about that.
I didn't let him eat a shit sandwich.
Look at my face. This is mom mode. I'm like, we got to talk about that.
They were mad at me that he ate a shit sandwich. Be Real from Cypress Hill on Dr. Green Thumb's podcast talked about
Shout out to Be Real.
Yeah, what people are willing to do to get famous, and they did a whole segment on Diaper Boy.
So he says he's seeking fame,
Yeah.
but it sounds like he's not seeking fame. He's seeking validation. And a lot of times, especially for men, we seek validation when we question our capabilities as a man. And I know it might sound weird to you because you got kids. And even for a man that don't have kids, they want to know they can freaking make kids. And for a girl to say, oh, by the way, this is not yours, then you attract women. He's calling himself Diaper Boy. So women spank boys in diapers. No, hear me. Women spank boys in diapers.
BDSM.
Yeah. So women are gonna want to beat his ass because he's not a boy. He's not a man. He's a boy. So that's off the rip. If he said I'm diaper man, although I don't know how that really goes, but if he said he's diaper man, that man part ain't nobody gonna put hands on him. But as long as he is wearing diapers, which means he cannot control himself, there's gonna be a woman out there trying to spank him to control him. Just saying. Just saying.
Damn! Preach. This is amazing.
So we're gonna have to revamp Diaper Boy because I don't think he's seeking fame. If he is seeking fame, cool. But we could do it from a way that you ain't hurting yourself. Because you're an amazing person. You don't have to do that.
And he is an amazing person.
Johnny Knoxville ain't doing the shit he doing anymore for a reason.
Can I do this right now? And I'm gonna say this live on the podcast. Can I pay you to help him off air?
The question is, does Diaper Boy want to be helped off air?
I'm already seeing a counselor, and it's like,
But does that? But what do you say about that? He's seen a counselor and a psych. What is a counselor? Okay. And we're talking about titles, right? We're talking about people that get paid for this shit, no matter what. You know what I mean? This is their title. This is what they do. We talked about the sugar pill for the people with diabetes. You know what I mean? Like, how do you feel about that statement he just said right now?
So thank you for being honest. First of all, I'm celebrating him for saying, "Hey, I am trying to get help." Yeah. Men need to see. Remember, we talked about that. Men need to heal. Men need to cry. Men need to seek help. So I'm all for that.
How? Keep that in.
Huh?
You can't keep that.
You can't keep it in because it will kill you. When you think from the mental, you schizophrenia or bipolar, it will eat away literally at your organs. So my question is, you're getting help, which trust me, I'm celebrating him for. That's not an easy thing to do.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shout out to Diaper Boy and his site.
I want this dude to live a long, beautiful life, and I want him to be famous. And if this is what gives him his validation, like this is I'm trying to do it.
Do you believe, Diaper Boy, that your genius is enough to get you the validation and the fame that you need? It's not a lot of people I know that just graduate with freaking honors and being like a G and being the G for genius. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's enough. You ain't got to eat somebody else's waste.
It's not someone else's way. It's all doggies.
It was a dog. It was dog waste, but it was a dog that's not on a fucking ketogenic diet or
Dog that was eating shit, basically.
It was a dog that was eating hot dogs and just like fucked up shit. Like he didn't eat a solid dookie. He ate a putty of shit. You know what I mean? Like, and I got backlash on that shit, and I was like, bro, like this is what he signed up for. He put it on the menu. I didn't put shit on the menu. He put shit on his own menu. So how about the individuals that put shit on their own menu to feel like
boom. Why? The only reason someone would put shit on their menu is because they believe they were shit.
Ooh, that's a good one.
damn.
And Diaper
Do you
Boy,
feel
I
like
love
you're
you.
shit?
I felt like I was a piece of shit.
Maji, we ain't ever gonna have you eat shit on here again, my boy.
Never.
We're gonna have you
I'm
solve.
gonna be watching you so tough.
We're gonna have you solve
So
some
tough.
motherfucking mathematics.
So
around
it's
this
really
bitch.
about what does Diaper Boy want to feel about himself?
What is your strong suit?
Yeah.
What is your strong suit?
You smart as hell. We know that.
You're smart as hell, bro. So what can you offer besides some fucking heinous fucking shit? Eating shit. What can make you famous besides eating shit?
My cooking.
Oh,
Wait, now hold up.
I mean, he eats shit, so his cooking is probably got to be shit, right?
Nah, hell.
So
nah,
we have a gentleman here who wants to be famous for some bullshit. But he can cook.
Yeah.
Does anybody in Hoodstock's world know that Diaper Boy can cook?
No, he. This is the first
Anybody
time I heard.
there?
What can you cook?
Me?
Yeah.
Actually, my pretty much occupation is seafood. So
Really?
What do you cook? So tell me, give me a recipe and tell me the process on cooking this.
aguachile tostadas.
Okay. Speak on it. What's the process of cooking that?
Well, the process of it is the prepping of pretty much pureed avocado sauce, then jalapeno vinaigrette, then pickled onions. Then it's the aguachiles, which is pretty much process of the whole thing like that is tiger shrimp boiled in pretty much carrots, onion, and celery, like broth. Blanched in ice. After that, peeled.
Bruh said blanched. Only cookers know blanched.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah, carry on.
Blanched in ice. After that, we had to take out pretty much the shit out of the shrimp.
Yeah.
After that, I hit the mix. I think it's 3 or 4 roasted jalapenos, then 3 teaspoons of green curry, 9 limes, salt, pepper.
Okay, let me stop you right here, bro. Let me stop you right here
Sorry.
in this recipe that you're giving right now.
Yeah.
So your posture just changed. Posture is everything.
through.
Your posture just changed, my G. Because right now I'm looking at you on the screen right now, and before you spoke on cooking, you were below the fucking mic. Right now your posture just raised up. Is this a passion of yours?
Yeah.
Okay, my G. So
You just
for now,
announced this to thousands of people.
absolutely. Check it out, my G.
What's up?
You ain't gonna eat shit no more on this show. You ain't gonna get tased in the fucking nuts no more. You know what I mean?
I couldn't piss for 2 weeks.
Bro, check it out. For now on,
Whoa, hold up.
Uh-oh.
go ahead.
This validates what I'm hearing. He got tased in the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he feels that his balls ain't good for nothing anyways. He can't make no babies, so tase them shits. It sounds funny, but this is the subconscious belief that's driving that. I cannot do the one thing that men were supposed to do, make a child. So fry my shit. What's it good for anyways? Is he agreeing?
Sounds like he's agreeing.
You man.
Check it out, my G.
No more.
Check it out, my boy. if you're part of this Hoodstocks crew, and we got, shout out to my Goonies, shout out to everybody that supports this fucking podcast. I love you, motherfuckers. We are gonna change the direction. We're gonna change the vibration. We're gonna change the energy. We are gonna uplift this man. And from now on, bro, you are gonna come and talk about, and you're gonna put us up on a recipe, bro. You're gonna put us up on a recipe on something that will be delicious for us to eat. You know, something that will be, because right now, Machi, your posture is raised up, your spine is straight. You know, and this is something that is positive. This is something that you're passionate about. This is something that we need to push forward, brother.
Absolutely.
I want you to meet your highest expectations, your highest degree in life, whatever. I mean, bro, like, I just feel like I fathered a fucking retarded kid, you know what I mean? And I just need to, like, I need to pick this dude up. You know what I mean? You can't even say retarded no more, dog. I mean, I have a 13-year-old stepdaughter that said retarded. Excuse me on this. She said, this is what she told me 2 days ago.
Let the women school you.
She 13 years old. She said retarded is like the N-word. That's what she told me. And this is from a brown-skinned girl. She said retarded is like the N-word. I said, no, it's not. I said, well, I grew up saying retarded. I didn't grow up saying the N-word. I said, I grew up saying retarded. I mean, you acting retarded. Cut your shit out. I mean, you know, if I'm acting retarded, I'm acting retarded. But anyways, I don't want to get too lost in the sauce with this shit. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, bro, we're not here to put you down. We're here to uplift you, baby. You know
And
what I
look
mean?
at that. We just discovered that he loves to cook.
Yeah.
And he can confirm this, that he has allowed abuse from women because the one thing that we've been taught that makes him a man don't work anyway. So abuse me, beat me, all that stuff. Until today. Until today.
You know what, bro? I'm gonna give you a frozen ice cube of nut. You know what I mean? And next time you're with a female, you know what I mean? You stick the ice cube in her. You know what I mean? And there you will have a baby. You know what I mean? Because I'm fertile than a motherfucker.
Shoot my shot.
You know what I mean? I'm fertile than a motherfucker. My nut is a problem. You know what I mean? Ask the kids. You know what I mean?
He said, ask the kids.
Ask the
Another
kids.
sibling, Dad? Yeah, you know.
Yeah, this is something that I have personally dealt with. You know what I mean? Throughout
think about
my
it.
time on the streets of being a womanizer, of bringing kids into this world with no plan, no plan, needs, drugs. What do they call it? You know what I mean? What's the word they call it? You know what I mean? When you just spur of the moment. You know what I mean? Anyways, Diaper Boy, I love you, my boy. I want to see you grow. I want to see you flourish. I don't want to see you fucking hurt yourself. Look at, he can't stop his feet moving.
That's
His feet-
anxiety. He's thinking about, what'd I just do? Everything got to change now because you're not going to be famed for eating shit. So everything, it's a game changer right now.
I mean, what has people told you about eating shit, bro?
No, I just had to, they asked me how does it taste.
And those are the people that don't care about you. You know, and you know what, bro? I'm one of them dudes at one point. You know what I mean, but I do care about you, bro, and I want to see you fucking flourish, baby. I mean, I want to see you meet your the highest expectations of fucking life, dog. You know what I mean? But with that said, let's take a break right now. Let's take a break, everybody. And we're gonna have a live performance right now. Okay, we're gonna have a live performance, and we'll get back with Sasha. We'll get back with all the good stuff. You know what I mean? But right now, let's take a break.
Somebody wants you to do something? Fuck you. Boss pisses you off? Fuck you. That puts you for the rest of your life at a level of fuck you. A wise man's life is based around fuck you. The United States of America is based on fuck you. You're a king? You have an army? Greatest navy in the history of the world? Fuck you, blow me. Somebody wants you to do something? Somebody wants you to do something? Fuck you.
Crack away.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Check, check.
Check. Are we all there? We all there. So we got Jazzo the Juggernaut.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The Juggernaut, baby. Tell us a little bit about yourself, my G.
Man, I'm from Southgate. Shit, man, I do music. I got a clothing brand called Knack Inc. That we actually started about close to 10 years ago. Started it off my son. He was skateboarding, and we just he wanted to get sponsored, and he was working real hard and shit, just getting really frustrated. And I told him like we just start our own. So we ended up starting Knack Inc. We've been pushing it. Knack Inc. is when you have a knack for something, so a natural and acquired skill, something that you was born with, something that you decided that's what you wanted to work on, and you pushed it, and it made you what you are today.
Absolutely, I love that shit, dog. And tell us the location of your shop, my G.
Yeah, we got a shop in downtown LA. It's on 4th in Los Angeles. That's where we sell all the clothing. We sell shoes. We sell craft supplies, you know what I'm saying, paint, everything, man. It's just a real hip hop shop. I grew up doing graffiti, and back when I was younger, there was a spot on Melrose called Workman's Outlet. And that's where we used to just go and get a lot of the stuff, and that was like the real hip hop spot. So I just wanted to recreate my own version of that.
Absolutely, dog. And you know what? One thing about, check it out, my boy. One thing I love about you, my boy, and ever since I got introduced to you through the homie, what's the homie's name?
Oh, from
The homie Shady.
yeah, from Life, yeah.
Yeah, the homie Shady from the Effort Music Camp.
You know.
Yeah, he said, hey, check it out. And we're going to have you on, bro, to tell your story. But once upon a time ago, you were living in a tent with your family?
Nah, we was actually living in a yeah, through my times in life, you know what I'm saying? I had gotten out of jail, and it was a point where I just didn't want to put no more burden on my family, my wife's family, nothing, you know what I'm saying? And the only place we could go was to Skid Row. We had a voucher to live in a hotel, and we was on county, so yeah, we ended up in a Skid Row on Alameda and 7th. There was a spot right there. It's still there right now, and we just got stuck in that cycle. And at that point, you know what I'm saying, I was doing drugs. I was doing all kind of other stuff. So
What kind of drugs were you doing, my G?
I was on meth.
You're on meth. You're on meth. You were living on Skid Row.
Yeah.
And now here you are, my G. You pushing the music. You have a fucking shop, dog, where people can go get the NAC ink. I mean, you have all the fucking, the J's, the retros. You're selling shoes.
Can I just talk about that real quick?
Go ahead, yeah.
Remember earlier in the show, I was saying the difference between someone who grew up with a silver spoon and doesn't acquire anything versus someone who didn't have shit and acquired a lot. It's intention. You intended once you were in jail, once you got the voucher, like, I'm not visiting this shit no more. I got all that I need to make myself better than I've expressed myself to be. He's a freaking prime example of that.
I was sitting in the back listening to everything you guys was talking about and the questions you asked about if somebody is sitting there listening that's on drugs and need help. It's like, I was that time where I just wanted to chime in because I did that. You feel me? But it's what you kept saying. Does that person want it? I did it without no rehab. I did it without no help.
Big
The
up.
only my son's right here, like shaking at night and on my bed, and my wife just rubbing me. Her having to deal with it through years of withdrawals of shit. Like, you gotta really want it. Going to rehab ain't gonna do nothing. It's a waste of money if you go in there and your intentions ain't to fix yourself. Because you just go in there with a bunch of people in the same situation.
Come on.
It's like going to jail. It's either going to jail with a bunch of the knuckleheads or you going to jail and you just the ones like, man, I'm trying to get out and get to the family. You like, yeah, me too. But then you got the other ones that'll suck you in, like, come on, you know, into the other stuff. So it's like, it's just how you want to take it, what you want with it, and that's the only way it's going to go. I did it without it. And I'm not saying everyone could do it, but, you know what I'm saying? This, if you really want it, it's there.
So don't take it from the certified person. Don't take it from Lucky. We have someone, look at the synergy you created, all the right people in this show at the right time. He's just saying his intent was, I'm done.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he was like, I'm done with this. And look what happened. He got more businesses than clean people. You know what I'm saying? He got more business and stuff going on than degreed people. Because he said so, period.
He got a Foot Locker in downtown LA.
I mean, I need the information.
He's the owner of a fucking Foot Locker.
Period. And some years ago, he was on meth. Get out of here, man.
Yeah, it's energies. I was reading the comments from the TV back there, and somebody was one comment that said, "Wonder what the performance is after this. This will be interesting." And I told my son, like, "Did you see that comment?" But on the other end, I was in the back, and I felt everything that was going on. I needed to hear it. It was a reminder. My son is here. He needed to hear it.
Yes.
So
Come on.
you know what I'm saying? It's the energies. It was a purpose for everything. There's a purpose for me performing and all that today with what's going on, with what you said, what was being discussed. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, my G, Jazzo, I want to tell you like this, dog. This wasn't planned, but it was meant to be to have you on with Sasha.
Respect.
I'm gonna tell you like this, bro.
I feel it.
I'm gonna tell you like this, dog. Like, you know what I do? How I do this podcast? Some people are like, let's lock in a date for next month. I'm like, I don't know what next month's gonna be, my G. You know what I mean? I don't know what next month's gonna be. And one thing about this podcast, and I hate to use the word organic because it feels like such a hipster fucking word. You know what I mean? But I want it to be right.
Yeah.
And when the dots connect and when the universe connects,
Come on.
then it's right. And this is why you on today with Sasha, my boy, because
I was supposed to be on last week.
you were supposed to be on last week. Yeah, you were supposed to be on last week because
Supposed to be.
yeah, you were. But I felt, yeah. So back to what I was saying, Sasha was supposed to be on last week on paper. But paper don't mean shit. You know what I mean? When it's right, it's right. I needed to have Youngster on here because we needed to help him. And look what it is now. He's on a one-way train ticket in Union Station, downtown LA, to go to Vegas to get a job and a fucking roof over his head, free of charge. You know what I mean? Like this is everything. We go with energy. We go with vibrations right here. You know what I mean? Nothing can be booked in months in advance. You know what I mean? When the time is right, you will be here. We got Jazzo right here. The time is right. The juggernaut. Let's go, baby. What you got for us? I mean, how long you been doing rap music, my G?
Somebody asked me that a while back, man, and I told them it's only been like 6 years. The way they broke it down to me was, however long you been, reciting music, listening to music, learning the lyrics, singing along with them. That's when you started rapping. So I mean, I've been doing music, learning music, being a music lover my whole life. Actually doing music, it's been about 6 years.
Let me ask you a question, bro. You're a business owner. You have the Foot Locker in downtown LA where you can get the fucking freshest J's, bro. You can get fucking spray cans. You can get the NAC ink fucking apparel. You know what I mean? I mean, what passion when it comes to passions? You know what I mean? What means more to you, your music or your store and what you're doing?
You was talking about it earlier as far as your time and how you feel as far as family and making this podcast what you know what it'll be for your family. And is it you doing the good for your family or is it really hurting? I was in the back and I feel every single word because it's the same thing. It's the music is the music. I can always do the music.
Yeah.
The store is something I could leave with them, something that they could continue, something that I could tell them, you guys don't want to go work for this person, you want to get up and work for yourself, then this is what I'm trying to do right here. So forever, you guys don't have to go wake up for somebody else. You just got to wake up for what the family done got.
Woof.
So, yeah.
Jazz over the Juggernaut. Let's go, baby. What's the name of this first track?
Oh, man, this one is called hashtag Team Fuck Jazz, and it's going to sound a certain way, man. I ain't even going to explain, but it's going to sound a certain way, but it's going to make sense if you really paying attention, feel me?
Let's go, baby.
Somebody wants you to do something, fuck you. Boss pisses you
just gotta grind it out,
fuck
man.
you. That puts you for the rest of your life.
I appreciate
at a level
this.
of fuck you. A wise man's life is based around fuck you. The United States of America is based on fuck you.
This is hip-hop
You're a
shit,
king.
man.
You
Listen,
have an army, greatest navy
Watch.
in the history of the world? Fuck you,
Check.
blow me.
fuck jazz, I had to put it in a hashtag. This for all you haters, get ready with your white flags. I'm shooting missiles, you can hear them as they whistle by. I keep it pushing for my city, Southgate rise. I got it stamped just like a postal code, a bag full of bars, and I ain't talking about Xannies, bro. This rap game switched up on some bullshit. I almost stepped in it, I almost took an L, kid. I'ma be the oldest freshman on your top 5. I'm tired of all these niggas always hating, cause I keep it live. I cheated death, so I know this motherfucker coming. Until then, I'm burning trees like a forest fire. Posted on the block, home plate like an umpire. You want beef, we'll bring the heat just like a campfire. Them goosebumps, that's because she feel my style, nigga. You hating, well, she just copped that smile. Middle fingers up to the ones who ever doubted you. You ever had a bitch that never told you she was proud of you? To every motherfucker who took advantage of your humble heart, put your middle finger up and this is how it's gonna start. I thank you for your evil thoughts. Excuse me when your hating starts. You don't understand me, let me tell you as the music pauses. Tell you, man, you gotta feel this shit, man. Jazzo, listen. Yeah. I don't need a crown to remind me that I am a king, but I got this motherfucker to remind me that I want some bling. My work ethic made these motherfucking haters surface. These niggas jumping on my wave, I had to learn to surf it. Ain't no such thing as being picture perfect. That's why I stay the way I am, because it ain't worth it. Unleashing my feelings on the motherfucking internet. Yeah, I said some shit, but none of it will I regret. They say I'm negative, but with them I was positive. I always kept it real, not a part of me was fraudulent. So now I'm like, fuck ungrateful rap bastards. You can suck my dick, and yeah, it's that drastic. I'ma stay crisp and fresh just like a Vlasic. You in the Barbie world, your whole life is plastic. This rap game, fuck it, you can have it. Cause gotta let me know when my shit's about to happen. Middle fingers up to the ones who ever doubted you. You ever had a bitch that never told you she was proud of you? To every motherfucker who took advantage of your humble heart, put your middle finger up and this is how it's gonna start. I thank you for your evil thoughts. Excuse me when your hating starts. You don't understand me, let me tell you as the music pauses. That's that Jazzo, man. Just so you understand.
Yeah.
Man.
Feel that shit, baby. Let's go.
The next one, huh?
Let's go, doggy. Hell
Hey,
yeah.
man, just keep it going, cause right now they gonna look at you one way.
Hey, I ain't never sang like this.
But when you make it, Lucky,
Yeah.
for real,
Yeah, baby.
they gonna see it.
These niggas that hate you till you're famous.
It's gonna tell you the story, man. Everything I say is true. Pay attention, yeah. These niggas that hate you until you're famous. Still come around and ask you for the favors. I don't need that friendship, keep it pushing. I'm already tucked back in my Chevy cruising. You feel me? Watch. Jazz with the Juggernaut, man. Southgate. Listen.
I don't need that friendship, keep it pushing.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man.
In my Chevy cruising.
My eyes observant, the real fuckers just hit the surface. They've been encouraging everything to finally see the purpose. This is more than rap verses, this ain't no media gimmick. This authentic hip hop and it's the way I live it. Tunnel vision for winning, I thank my wife and children. I thank the Lord for not taking me when he had a chance. The devil had a hoe, you should see the bitch dance. Now I'm walking fire, bitch, I don't need no ambulance. When you speak on Juggernaut, you better put some spec on it. Southgate, that's my city and that's what I rap, homie. Chopping in black, well that's what my mama told me. I hold a lot of pain, but they ain't gonna ever phone me. This for the hypocrites that say to really fuck with this. I ain't going nowhere, so you might as well get used to this. And acknowledge it, this ain't the rapper starter kit. This the type of shit that have you tucked in your Chevy, bitch. You feel me?
I ain't figured that shit out yet.
Until this shit, man, I'ma keep grinding.
Nowhere.
For the family, man. Ain't nobody gonna tell me different. I'm the Juggernaut. These niggas that hate you until you're famous. Still come around and ask you for the favors. Their favors, man, they gon' come.
I'm already tucked back in my Chevy.
Y'all can do this, man, real talk. I wasn't supposed to be here, man.
Still come around and ask you for the favors.
Everybody got a story.
Keep it pushing. I'm already tucked back in my Chevy cruising. Man, that shit for real though.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that.
Some of y'all niggas out here fake as fuck. Always acting
That's
like
right,
Always
my G.
acting like they your peoples, man.
Hey, Jazzo, the Juggernaut, baby.
Appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate you coming through, dog, and spitting some bars, my G. Everybody's saying the fucking internet's acting up, but when this shit gets replayed, it ain't gonna be acting up because we good on this side and shit. My G, thank you, dog, for blessing the fucking platform, bro. Rolling through, dog, with your greatness, my G. That shit was. I
appreciate
mean,
that, man.
I love the old school fucking bars. I'm not saying you old school, but I'm just saying I love the bars. I love lyrics that mean something. I love people that are putting something on. And and they talking from the motherfucking heart, you know what I mean? And when you speak, my boy, I know you're speaking from the heart, dog.
Love, man. That's what it is. Like, that's what I was raised off of. It's about educating, man. Don't nobody educate no more, plain and simple. Like, man ain't supposed to cry. Like, I don't know, like the way things has just been changing is like the OGs ain't supposed to educate no more. You feel me? And that's not the way it's supposed to be. Like, kids is running crazy right now, and I think the right people that need to be speaking ain't speaking. So I got to start taking my little turn. And once I get a platform, once that start building, that's what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to use that to be able to educate, to try to help out, because ain't nobody doing that.
Absolutely. Thank you for recognizing that, though.
Yeah, we need to take responsibility. You know what I mean? We can't just take a motherfucking our rock and run with it, I mean, and not look back. I mean, we got rear view mirrors for a reason, you know what I mean? And if you're running with your rock, I mean, you got to do what you got to do for your family and your livelihood, you know what I mean? But look in that rear view mirror, and sometimes we're leaving people behind without the proper information.
And then look what you just did with Diaper Boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you did that right now, man, that told me a whole lot about you as a person. Like, you was jokes and jokes, but underneath that jokes was that was you putting light to something that needed to be said, something that you needed, that you felt in your heart that needed to be done, man.
I worry about this dude, dog.
That's
you know
good, though.
And people around me, bro, like, you can't be around me, dog, with the fucking stupid shit, dog. You can't be around me, dog. I mean, you can be around me with the stupid shit, but if you're gonna be around me, we need to find a way, dog, to fix the stupid shit.
Right.
You know, and that's why we have Sasha right here to help us out with some shit like that. That's why we got you right here, dog, to tell us a little bit about your history and what you've been through, bro. You know what I mean? And to see that from Skid Row, dog, you are now a business owner, bro. You know what I mean? You're doing your rap music, bro. I mean, you are striving for greatness. You know, and we need that, bro. We need.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Strive.
Thank you.
I mean, we got to pick people up around here instead of put them down. There's a lot of cats, dog, that they rather see you down. I mean, if you go to the neighborhood and shit right here, they'll all accept you right now if you in the dirt. Because what are they gonna do? They're gonna give you dope. They're gonna give you drugs. Dog. They're gonna be like, it's all good. Fool, hit this pokey, homie. You know what I mean?
I had more homies at that time when I do now.
Of course.
You feel me?
Whew, absolutely, dog.
When you
That's
change, your environment's going to change. So
Yeah.
that's to be expected.
And that's what I told the homie youngster, Rudy Vargas. I said, my boy, get the fuck out the neighborhood. You know what I mean? You know, we bro, the neighborhood is gonna, like, I hate to say it, man, but man, bro, the neighborhood, like, strives on your heartache. They feed on that shit, because if you hurt it, we hurt it, and we're gonna all hurt together, you know what I mean? But instead of hurting together, let's find a way to pick each other up, dog.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Healing the hood and beyond is our responsibility.
That was your-
So thank you for that, both. Thank you both for that.
Jazzo, the Juggernaut. Everybody give it up for the homie.
Thank you,
brother.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for making time to come and fuck with us in your busy schedule, doggy.
Nah, man.
I mean, so we're back to the main scene, the main guest right here. I mean, even though everybody is main around here.
That's right.
Everybody is worthy. Everybody. But Sasha, how was your experience right here?
It was, I put an intention out into the universe this year. And in part, that was to work with urban influencers who were open-minded, who were ready to do the work within ourselves for ourselves and our community. And I feel like the answer just came. Here you go. So I'm extremely grateful for you having me on here. And my only hope in everything that I do is that it just touches one soul, like legit, just touches one soul. Because I'm not here to be Oprah, I'm here to be Sasha, and Sasha's reach might only be 25 people.
Sasha's the new Oprah, baby.
Oh, well.
Let's go.
Sasha's
the new Oprah. She's our Oprah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. She's
Respect.
my Oprah.
Respect.
You know what I mean? Because
Respect.
why is she my Oprah? Because she gonna come and fuck with me. I mean, Oprah ain't gonna come fuck with me because she's on that higher plane. And
She won't
shout
mess
out
with
to her.
most of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's okay.
It's okay.
My fellow Aquarian.
Because she gave us a template.
Oh, Furious Styles. That's a compliment. Furious. Shout out to Lawrence Fishburne. Oh my God.
Yeah. What is that? Boys in
From
the Hood?
Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
That was Trey's daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you our Furious Styles?
I'll take it. That's a compliment to me. That's a compliment. But I can't thank you guys enough for having me. Shout out to you, Diaper Boy, the whole staff for just being receptive understanding that our power is in our hands. And I like to say that no one's coming to save us, and people get offended. And what I mean by that is that we have all the tools on earth to bring heaven here. And the only thing that's coming to save us is our connection we have to source. When we tune in, when we say enough is enough, when all this crap that we're in the midst of is enough. No one else on the outside is coming to save us. No one else on it. Not no politician.
Not that medicine.
Exactly.
Not that news outlet.
Exactly.
They all have, they all have hidden agendas, right?
There it is. Because if we're not there next to them making the change, how are they changing for us? Can't be changing for us if we ain't there side by side with them. Yeah. You know, because when we go to vote, we just check a box. We don't check a box and then write what we need. And that's one way you know that they're not really working for us. You know, checking a box don't mean they get it. They don't know what we need.
I want you to, on an ending note, I want you to give a message to the people out there that are down on their, so to speak, luck.
Absolutely. Thank you. For those that are down on their luck, just understand that everything that you're going through is not a punishment, but it has a purpose. So I encourage each and every one of you guys to ask the challenge, ask the problem, what it is that they have for you. Because the chances are that whatever you're experiencing is been trying to show itself and teach you something for a very long time, but we have ignored it because we've been busy. We've been busy doing this and doing that and doing this and not being still, not being present, not being inquisitive, not wanting to know, how can I not be a victim in my life? So ask yourself, what does the challenge have to show you? And once you ask yourself what the challenge has to show you, the answer will be revealed. And there's myself and there's tons of other people out there that can support you along this. There's podcasts like this that can support you along your journey. But we are everything that we've been looking for. I do videos on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and I end by saying, as you were born, so is the solution. Meaning, if you were born, the answer's already there. We just have to unlock the answer to that thing that we're asking. We're not asking the questions. Yeah. We're talking about what we don't like, but we're not talking about what we do like. We're talking about what we don't want, but we're not talking about what we do want. Those are the things that need to be unlocked. As a coach, that's what I'm here to do, but it starts with us. The community can't change until we change.
Whew, talk your shit. You know what I mean? How can people reach you?
Yes, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Life and Light Wellness. I'm even on that new app, Clubhouse. L&L Wellness. It's kind of heavy on Clubhouse, but I am present on there. My website is life, LIFEAND, light, LIGHT, wellness.com. And you could also find me at my name, which is on Facebook, YouTube or Instagram, all that. It's long, but SashaCampbellGarbett.com. They all link to the same place. From there, you can see my coaching programs. I also have herbal supplements. I make herbal supplements too.
Did you bring me some?
I did bring you some. I did bring him some. I did. Look.
What do you got for me?
So first off, a lot of you guys been hearing about sea moss and all that stuff. Shout out to Dr. Sebi. But wait.
Here we go.
Here is Lucky's sea moss with elderberry. It's fresh, it's nice and thick, and this is good because it has over 90 minerals that the human body is made of. I make it myself. It is wild crafted. It's not made in a farm or anything. It's out of the Caribbean Ocean, the sea moss. And elderberry is good for your immune system. So not only does it give you the minerals, which are good for immunity, metabolism, for mental clarity and digestion, but now you also have an extra immunity boost and antioxidation. So this is for you.
How do I use that? It looks like a jam.
It does look like jam. It tastes kind of plain. What gets people is the texture.
How do I use it?
Take a scoop. Because I'm used to taking it, I just take it straight. Yeah. And it kind of like dissolves with warmth. So you put it in your mouth, it dissolves, but you could put it in smoothies. It's also a cooking agent. So you can add it as a thickener. And if you're doing pancakes, well, maybe not this color, but you can add it to your, batters and all that stuff. But you can just take a scoop or add it to hot tea. It'll dissolve, or add it to a smoothie.
Just one scoop.
One teaspoon a day is all you need to get everything that you need.
Sasha, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Your greatness is much appreciated. I mean, we needed this Big
Thank
time.
you.
This is sometimes when we need to just like if we're on a high horse, we need to get off that horse and we just need to level up and touch back down to like feet on grass.
There it is. Oh, we didn't even get. God, there's so much more we can cover, but we'll do that later.
Yeah,
Feet
we'll-
on grass.
Yeah, we'll get you back on
We'll
that
get
shit.
to that. But yeah, go to my website. My products are on there. I got sea moss gel. I wrote 2 books. Both of my books are on there. I have other herbal supplements, moringa extract, black seed extract. I have moss in capsule form because some people don't like the texture. So I got what you need. Everything's handmade by myself.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Everybody
Thank
give it
you.
up for Sasha. Thank you.